All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first podcast hosted in Canada.
Canada, what's up, Rene? That rhymed! I didn't even mean to do that on purpose.
All right, cut. Let's do it over.
So what do we got on deck tonight, Rene?
Well, I think we're going to be playing some Tetris tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Super Metroid. Did this come after Prime, or
Yeah.
is this like a?
No, you idiot! It's Super Metro ID, where you're a detective in the New York subway system. You're trying to track down a murderer who made it through underground. Do you know anything?
I think
Graphics look kind of crappy on this. I don't know. This thing's kind of boring.
yeah, I think chronologically it does come after Prime, but yeah. All right. Well,
Fire it up, Rene.
let's not waste any time. Yeah.
It's
So,
kind of hard sometimes.
While you're starting the game out, can you give us a quick little overview of how exactly you're doing this? I'm assuming you're using the rectals just because they're on stream.
Yeah. So it's this SNES Mini. There's no RGB amp in it. I just tied the RGB outs directly to the multi-out because I'm using the rectals, and Steve told me it was fine to do that.
That's undocumented, by the way.
Definitely undocumented. I would not corroborate that story.
Yeah, and then the rectals are going to an Extron 12x4 into an OSSC in line by 5, tweaked using one of Firebrand X's tutorials. Then that is going into a 4x2 HDMI splitter. One of the outputs is going into my TV, and the other output is going to a Vision Data Path E1, and then finally the whole thing is captured with OBS.
On Windows or Linux?
This had to be on Windows. I couldn't get the data path.
Of course.
I couldn't get the data path to work properly on Linux. I contacted their support, and they told me that I needed to downgrade the kernel, and I said, fuck this. So I just I took a Windows
Because you're
license.
on the latest kernel, right?
Yeah, I'm always cutting edge. I like to do updates as much as I can.
Did they tell you to downgrade the kernel so you could write a patch using the downgraded kernel and then re-upgrade back to the other kernel?
No, they just said their driver didn't support the latest and greatest kernel yet. So
Okay.
yeah. So I want to go over these settings. I think most people don't play Super Metroid the way I do. I put the shot on top and then jump and dash, which kind of ends up being like a Super Mario type of feel. And I'll usually like do the claw grip to go shoot pretty often. So it's highly uncomfortable, but it works very well.
Whatever you gotta do, man.
That's right. And this is the MSU hack by Michael Larouche, aka Dark Shock, because we're trying to avoid a copyright hit. So.
Yeah, fuck off, Nintendo.
Oh, it's still awesome. I love the MSU ones. I usually play those.
Oh yeah.
The galaxy is at peace.
Frank Strasser has a case of the Metroids, and I recommend applying HD rectal directly, and it's known to reduce swelling and itching caused by Super Metroids.
I thought you had to apply preparation HD rectals.
Yeah.
Just hit the switch into the maximum strength position.
Yeah. The other thing, I guess, is I prefer to play with a Super Famicom controller, which has the convex buttons everywhere instead of the X and Y being concave.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rene.
I like this much better, but the cable is so much shorter. I have an extension and it's still just free floating in the air.
I'd like to add, Rene, are you beating it alone on your couch tonight?
Yeah, there's Frosty Furball is not here, but he sucks at Super Metroid, so he wouldn't be any help. He wasn't much help at TMN 3, Turtles 3
Obviously
this
not.
weekend either.
Yeah.
So.
You guys sucked at that game, no offense, but all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I beat it.
Yeah.
You didn't stick around long enough, but I beat it. Alone.
Did you guys play through the first two Metroids before you first played this one?
I never beat the first one, but I did definitely beat Return of Samus on Game Boy using the Super Game Boy through a Super Nintendo with composite because I was a kid. That's all I had.
But before you played this one?
Yeah.
So you played that one first, and then you played Super Metroid?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
This is the first one I played. I played this when Metroid Prime came out. Because one of my...
No
Oh, wow.
shit.
Yeah, one of my buddies, he was really big on the GameCube, and then when Metroid Prime came out, he was like... And he said, oh my god, you gotta try this game. And I was like, Metroid, what the fuck is this, right?
So I gotta admit, Metroid Prime kind of like changed my whole outlook on a lot of things because in
His
the
whole
past,
life.
yeah, because in the past I would I'm so used to the PlayStation N64 era when everything came out and everything was 3D and everyone's like, oh man, these graphics are so amazing. I'm like, no, this looks like absolute ass.
Yeah.
Like like the Super Nintendo 2D stuff looked way better. And so then when Metroid Fusion came out, it came out the same time as Metroid Prime. And I'm like, Metroid Prime, 3D Metroid, so stupid. I'm gonna get Metroid Fusion. I got Metroid Fusion and I beat it and I was like, yeah, I guess that was alright, whatever. And then I went over to my friend's house and I was watching him play Metroid Prime, and I'm like, holy shit, this is way better. It feels way more like Metroid than Metroid Fusion did. And then I ended up buying a GameCube.
Yeah. Prime was the first Metroid I ever played.
God, Jesus Christ.
I take that back. I had played a little bit of the original NES Metroid, but I never like got anywhere in it.
That first game is fucking hard.
Yeah,
I-
It's unforgiving, too. You die and you start back with 1 energy tank, 30 health.
Yeah.
You kind of get rewarded by playing the first game before you play this one because of all the little throwbacks, especially in the beginning of the game, which you're gonna.
Yeah, you get the
see.
same type of zones and
Well, you
same.
enter the game through the exit of the other game. So,
It drives me nuts in games where when you die you lose everything. Like in platformers where you have to go, the same path, like Shovel Knight. It was okay. It was kind of neat. But I'm playing Hollow Knight now, and I'm only like 10 minutes into it, so this isn't a spoiler or anything. But when you die, it's the same thing. You have to go back and go back to the spot that you died, and then fight the ghost of yourself to get your stuff back. It's I don't know if I can deal with that.
I can't.
maybe you should just get good and not die.
Maybe you should apply that, just forget about that liberal logic and just welcome to the real world.
I think he spoiled the game for me because now I know it's longer than 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a Metroidvania. Games like that, I like just exploring and seeing what I find, and then, fuck it, if I die, whatever, then I go back and, replan my strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the game. I mean, I love, like I said at last stream, the original Bid Trip Runner, and that's a game where you die, you start at the beginning of the level no matter what.
I'll tell you a fantastic game that I was turned on to pretty much when it first came out, but not a lot of people talk about it now. Mirror's Edge was a phenomenal game. Did any of you ever play Mirror's Edge, the sort of parkour first-person shooter?
I bought it and never played it.
What an idiot. It's so good.
I have
For
Mirror's Edge on the
360.
PS3. That was a fun game.
I have for 360. I thought this part was really cool. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this stuff. What the hell?
Yeah. Totally
Hey,
different.
It's asked, is someone here which ROM hack Rene's using and how it differs from the original? Rene, this is just the MSU1 audio, so it's actually the original in every way except it's got the
Yes.
the orchestral audio, right?
That's right, yeah. As far as I know, Dark Shock didn't change anything else.
Pretty sure he didn't either.
So I'm not going for like an absolute speed run here because I do want to be able to beat the game, so I'm going to try to get some items.
Are you going to be taking any of the glitches through the ceilings and...
Oh yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
need
I
to get
can't wait.
early super missiles.
How about early power bombs?
No, because that's. I mean, there's a way to go up there, up to the wrecked ship without ice, but it's really hard. You got to be like a master at wall jumping.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, and I thought like I would get up there and I wouldn't be. There would be something else preventing me from getting the power bombs, and then I got the power bombs. Like, is this supposed to happen?
Ah, I've practiced this ascent so much. It's really difficult. I'm not doing too bad.
Alright, seem to be doing pretty all right. This isn't require a claw grip?
No, but the wall jumping is as soon as you press either up or down on the D-pads, even for just one frame, you fuck it all up. So you always have to be like perfect left right all the time. There's another thing you can do too is when you can change the hitbox, Samus's hitbox, by pressing L or R when you get close to a ledge. So she gets on like ever so faster.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called a ledge grab. And you'll see a lot of the speedrunners do like this kind of thing. Apparently, you're able to gain like 5 or 6 seconds in a whole run if you do that.
What is that?
It's called I think it's
okay.
arm pumping. So you're just
Okay.
constantly moving her arm up and down, and
It's just I can't see you in real time.
Oh,
so when
yeah.
you say that, like I see you a little bit later.
yeah, it's apparently she moves forward 1 pixel sooner when you do that.
I've watched a couple very interesting like speedrunner YouTube videos where they kind of go into the science of some of this stuff, and in particular like the one I saw about Mario 1 was like really in depth and crazy. I don't know how they spend the time to figure this stuff out.
Oh,
but
is that the one that I posted?
4-2?
Yeah, exactly.
4-2 or something.
maybe
brilliant.
like basically they talk about how they're essentially in their speed run manipulating the way registers are working. And if you like go like precisely a little bit far enough, you can change a register and then go back and like take a vine up in a faster way, and there's all sorts of like crazy stuff that
Yeah, it was like the game loads like one exit out of the area, and if you do something, you could take the pipe to like climb the beanstalk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was blown away when I saw that.
I was blown away when I saw them manipulating the registers in memory into a way to where by putting items in and out of your inventory box, they were able to program a Flappy Bird level. Did you guys see that?
I saw one for Super Mario World where they did just what you're saying, Zach, but the order and the XY position of items that they set up actually ended up being legal ASM code that would JSR to the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's the Super Mario World one, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's awesome. If you've never seen that video where he does a really good job of like displaying kind of what sprites are in what register and like what you're actually setting up. I mean, it gets really complicated and it's easy to kind of lose what he's talking about, but it's really cool to see that.
So this is where
I don't
you
know
do.
who figures this stuff out. You gotta have a lot of time on your hands to.
You have to have no life.
Early
and-
super missile. There we go, I got it. So that's like the first major sequence break here.
Yeah, I remember when you did this in Montreal.
Well, I wasn't able to get the climb. I practiced it so much yesterday, and then I tried like 5 or 6 times earlier, and I couldn't get it. So I got the climb the first try in Montreal when Bob was watching. I was really happy about that.
Rene, do you think you're affected by the fact that you're Would your reactions be better if you were playing on a CRT, or do you think that the input latency of an LCD television is negligible in terms of your performance here?
I've got like just over a frame of lag on this TV, and it's not enough to affect my playing for Super Metroid.
Okay.
Because I've tried playing Super Metroid on the Wii U Virtual Console, and it's completely unplayable.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you. It's horrible. It's kind of like the Mega Man Legacy Collection for the 3DS. I really tried to play that because it's cool. You got all those games, but the input latency on whatever emulator they jammed into that is horrible. I just can't enjoy the if the latency thing wasn't an issue, I would really love a lot of these retools.
You know how when you do the super missile and break the glass? No, I don't want to get any further in case there's spoilers for people that haven't done this before, but the Wii U version, I noticed that was kind of off. It felt like there was a weird delay or something. Or no, the Wii U version, there was no delay. It just instantly broke as soon as you did it or something.
That's Wii U Virtual Console?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that the PPU behaves, I guess.
PU.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I had nothing meaningful to say.
Oh, me neither.
Oh no, I was going to say two things. Cost and convenience are really sort of what deter people from, or inter people from using real hardware to enjoy games like this. But as much as I've tried to honestly do the virtual console thing and to, in terms of just for convenience, it just never works out for me because I can't play a game like this competitively like Rene is, and have, an exuberant amount of latency. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's like I tried to play a few games when I was streaming last time through a PC emulator, and I was sucking terribly because that 40 to 50 milliseconds of latency. By the time I get there, I've gone too far, and I cannot play reasonably well a game like this.
Yeah, games like this or Mega Man, they're unplayable in those shitty emulators.
Well, I never knew that one was there, I think, Rene.
You never got this. You never got 100%.
You never noticed that things never flew out of that pipe? That's how I figured that out when I was 7. No, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying. I was like,
No,
that's
you're
odd.
always being a dick.
I'm not. No, I'm just saying. Man, nothing is flying out of there. I bet there's something up there.
Bob, so these are called video games, and sometimes we like to play them.
I spent more hours in this game as a kid. I beat it when I first beat it. It was like 4.5 hours or something. But I kept going back and replaying it. I really love this one.
Oh yeah, this is probably the best game for the Super Nintendo, in my opinion.
It's the best game
There's
ever.
a lot. It's always really between this and Zelda.
Family Feud, yeah, I know.
This, Zelda, and Mario. I think I'll be playing those for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Jesus
Really,
Christ.
Mario?
World, it's my favorite version. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario
Really?
World's awesome, dude. Oh yeah, that's the best Mario game ever, in my opinion.
I really like
Scott
Mario World.
I've words about that all the time because he still thinks Mario 3 is the best Mario ever.
That's a good Mario.
It's good Mario too.
I guess because Mario has just had a bajillion incarnations at this point, I don't know. I wouldn't, like, repeatedly go back to the Super Nintendo one. I don't think.
How dare you?
I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I like it. It's just, I mean, how many Mario games can I possibly play? Like, I don't know.
You know, I don't know why, but I feel like I would play New Super Mario Wii before I would replay the Wii U version.
That's another sequence break. Getting that wall jump.
Oh, you don't have the high jump boots there, do you? So,
Yep.
yeah, I see what you did.
That is one of the ones I did as a kid. I managed to get up there.
I think that's the one we saw Rene do at up in Canada, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of this stuff.
But yeah, if I was gonna replay a Mario game now, it would be Galaxy.
Oh, fucking A. Beautiful. Unbelievable game.
Yeah, I was blown away playing that game the first time.
The polish on that game.
Never played it.
Jesus, Bob.
Even I
That was-
played that.
That was like one of the few games that I didn't mind like the Wii controller with. Like it's kind of fun, just collecting whatever the collectible in that game was.
You know, a game that got a lot of flack because of its controls with the Wii, and I could never understand it because I never understood because I thought that this particular game was the best game with the best controls for the Wii was Skyward Sword. I thought it was phenomenal. Did you guys ever play Skyward Sword?
Yeah, I beat that one, and the controls drove me nuts. You know that like mini game where you swoop the sword back and forth real quick to like chop the
Yeah.
the wood post down?
Yep,
I could
yep.
never get that right because the controls were just a little weird to me. It never matched whatever emotion I was doing.
Well, then I don't know, Bob. Maybe you should go douse for another game.
Yeah, I liked Skyward Sword. I know it's like typically viewed as not a great one. I don't know
I
why.
thought it was fantastic. I put it up there as just as good as like Twilight Princess or Wind Waker. I like all of those. There's not been a Zelda game that I don't like unless they're the two DS titles. Yeah,
I
that's
never
fair
played
to
the
say.
second one. The first one I liked a lot. I just hated using the D-pad for not using the D-pad for controls.
Yeah, I didn't like Spirit Tracks, and I didn't like the other one. I didn't think they were very
Phantom
good.
Hourglass.
Yeah,
the
Phantom
lamp-
Hourglass.
The lampshade of no real significance.
Yeah, I never played those Zelda like Wind Waker. Were they sequels to Wind Waker, or I don't know what they were. I never touched them.
Yeah, they were sort of in the same canon as that. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah,
Was he
there's,
the same?
there's Spirit Tracks
character?
too, right?
I think so. I played them both for about 30 minutes apiece, and I was immediately like, the stylus being sort of your sole control mechanism. I'm like, no, this is Zelda. This isn't fucking Pico Chat, for God's sakes.
So, Smoke Monster just posted that he tested this on emulation, and it's pretty efficient. It only has the minimum of 16 milliseconds latency, one frame of latency on it.
16.6, but who cares?
His video that showed how many frames of just basic software input latency that Mortal Kombat 2 had, that cracked me up because that so many of the debate when we were kids of like, what's better, what's Genesis or Super Nintendo. If we have the ability to test this as kids, Genesis wins hands down.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what's interesting is that whole latency test is kind of cool, but a lot of most systems they'll update. Well, the way most games are programmed, I imagine they update at when the complete frame is finished drawing, like in V-Blink. When you've got the retrace so the guns get repositioned to draw the next frame, that's when all probably your logic and a lot of your button inputs are polled and read. But something like the Atari 2600, button inputs in your game logic really happened at H-Blink, which is at the end of drawing every horizontal line. I wonder how that lag fix that they have for RetroArch would work with a system like the 2600 that updated and pulled the controls at every scan line as opposed to in retrace when you're setting up to draw the next frame. That's some
Wow.
super geeky, nerdy shit, but
Wasn't there? No, that's only a DMA. The SNES had that DMA that it could do during horizontal blank, which is how
oh yeah,
they did some complex games using that.
yeah, but
But yeah, that's just the
So-
DMA.
Just to clarify, in case anybody watching actually gives a shit, but so when you're talking about this, right, your average 16-bit console, if anybody has ever seen the videos on how a CRT works, it starts at one corner and draws the lines all the way down, and then it scans for inputs once every time that happens. And you're saying that the Atari 2600 at every horizontal frame is when it's scanned for the.
Well,
the
you
pull
got to
the
think.
controller for it?
You got to think of the Atari 2600 was a very efficient beast because this was during a time when RAM was super expensive and you didn't have a lot of storage to do things. So game logic and game code and your inputs and everything like that were practically handled on the fly as quick as the raster was being drawn on the screen. Matter of fact, they called it racing the beam because this was cycle precision in terms of programming. Your code and everything had to be jammed out in precisely the right cycles because you were drawing that screen, you were drawing that raster, and your code had to be aligned with that. So because of that, the Atari 2600 might be kind of unique because game logic and controls and anything like that are being updated during H-Blank. It was when there's a horizontal blanking when you're done drawing that raster line and the guns are setting back up to do the second line, and that's when a lot of the game updates occur, as opposed to being all done in overscan and VSync, which a lot of that is done there too, but a lot of your game code for the 2600 was handled in overscan and during H-Blank, but most of it was actually handled at the end of every line. The CPU would update the instructions and changes to your code. I think the TIA, which is the television interface adapter, it's been a long time since I've banged anything yet on that. I think it runs 3 times faster than the 6502.
No, not here. Fuck.
What are you doing? Oh, God. Oh, I love this part. Hold on. Wait, this isn't what I thought it was.
No, I messed up. I thought I was going to this room, but I was going to the save instead. Ah.
Dude, you lost like 9 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
You lost more trying to do that jump coming out of the first chosen statue yet.
I know. At least I got early ice. That worked really well. There's a missile right here.
So Rene, are you when you playing games on a stream? Do you find it difficult to also talk at the same time? Like, could
It's
you
very
be
difficult.
one of these, full-time Twitch people who are somehow able to interact and play games at the same time?
Maybe after years of practice. Maybe after games that are less demanding. Come on, get out of there.
But I mean, there are people like the ninja guy who's playing Fortnite at a pretty high level and entertaining at the same time, right?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
I think he just needs to
I'm gonna save for good measure.
up his training.
Yeah.
Now, Renee, this is going to be a 100% run?
No.
I thought you were shooting for 100%. What is that noise?
Yeah,
Probably it's probably me. I live in New York, so there's always on fire or dying.
Like your soul.
Ah, damn it.
It's not very nice.
There's a way to get up
Oh,
here.
you said you lived in New York.
So Bob, how's now that the move's taken place? How's the new place?
I like it a lot.
There we
It's a
go.
pretty Cool view. I have a gigantic. It looks like the Great Pyramid of Giza
Jesus.
in my living room with all these boxes stacked up. in
Sounds
my
great.
office.
Yeah, no point in living in a city
I
where you
will
can
give
like
myself a
relax.
There we go. Now we'll get the speed booster.
Shine Spark,
I think the speed booster is the best item in the game.
for sure.
Pause for missiles. There we go.
Yeah, when I was living in Baltimore, I lived on a main thoroughway, and ambulances and just constant noise drove me nuts after a while. I hope you get out of there soon.
Yeah, you just moved in, Bob, but we hope you leave right away.
Yeah.
A year on the lease, so we'll see.
Ah, yeah.
It just when I walked into the bedroom today, I just stood for a moment and I was like, I have another room. I haven't had more than one room in over a year.
Baller status, Bob.
Look at me.
Yeah, I was just in San Francisco last week for the start of my new job, and was talking with a lot of my coworkers and just asking them about their, because I'm one of very few people that work remotely for this company, so all my coworkers are living in San Francisco and around the area. Just asking them their living situation, and yeah, they're in like 500 square feet for, you know,
$1 million?
$3 grand, $4 grand a month.
It is definitely worse than New York.
That's my salary.
It's yeah, it's insane. I think if you're not living with people in that city, I don't know how you could possibly survive. Like, you have to have roommates.
That was cool, Rene. That was really fucking cool.
Hey, there's wall jumping is like 90% of this game.
Try
It's
doing
kind
it
of
with
a
an 8-bit DOE controller.
No way.
Is that shit, Bob? Are those shit? Be honest.
It's not that they're shit, it's just they're not as perfect as the originals, and when you're playing a game like this, the way Rene is playing it, it's impossible.
So you're saying that they're shit?
You are. That's what you're saying.
Okay. Yes, I'm saying they're shit. Through two.
Shit.
People use them with modern consoles too, though, right?
Yeah, but that's different because most modern games have controller latency in mind when they're designing the games. So
Yeah, I mean, I use one with my my retro USB AVS. I don't really mind it, but I'm not a.
you use one of the 8-bit DOE ones?
I have an 8-bit DOE one, and then I also have the one that retro USB made.
Well,
which-
that's 1,000 times better controller.
Yeah,
Well-
you have to get the new 3D print design for it though that Greg put up. It feels exactly like an original NES controller. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
the design of the retro USB controller is kind of goofy, and the
yeah.
buttons are a little clicky. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
Well, there are micro switches in that controller. There are not membranes that short the port. So
okay.
you actually have those clicky tactile. Ah! Ah! Sorry.
But it sounds like they could have selected lower Newton rating for
Yeah.
actuation.
For less bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like both of them. I've used both of those controllers. They work fine for me. I've been able to play like Mega Man with the 8-bit DOE controller.
Were you able to
Was-
do that shit?
I don't remember if I played through. I've played Mega Man 2 on. I was able to do like at least all the main levels.
Were you able to play Rockman Minus Infinity?
Never played that.
What a loser.
I still haven't had a chance. Once I get all my stuff set up, it's going to be really easy because everything will just automatically go to my flat screen. And if I want to use the RGB monitor, all I got to do is grab a wire and plug it in. So
I just want to say again, Rockman Minus Infinity is probably the greatest Mega Man for the 8-bit systems ever. Ever.
Yep. I agree with that.
Wow, that's
weren't you going to email me the newer version of the ROM that you had?
No, I think maybe Smoke Monster was going to do that. I only have the real cartridge. I mean, well, a cartridge. I don't
That
have.
you know.
Yeah, that I made. I mean, that I had. And I made one for Steve. And I gave to him.
The ROM to make the cartridge.
Well,
Look,
what's
Bob,
stopping-
we're not endorsing piracy on this.
Yeah, Bob, seriously.
Jeez Louise.
You can download it just as easily as anyone else. There. That's working.
Damn it.
Crocomire!
This boss is innocent and did nothing wrong. Rene is just a bully.
No, it's because I ran out of missiles. But, yeah. Now you're supposed to have the grapple when you come here, but there's an energy tank on the other side, so you can lose most of your health going to the other side.
Ace says he's having a hard time hearing the guys talk over the game audio.
I don't even hear the game audio. Oh, maybe we don't. We don't hear the game audio.
Skype, yeah.
Damn it.
Do other people in the chat feel this way? That the game audio is still too loud?
So I can turn it down a bit there. I turned it down a notch.
Yeah, Rene, for God's sakes.
Damn it. Ah. Then he comes back for a finale here, but it's just a skeleton, so spoiler alert.
Calling all is in the chat.
I gotta ask him how he came up with the screen name. That's Greg.
Yeah, you sent me his the 3D printed his thing. That was his, right?
Someone,
Pretty sure.
I think the hiss
Yeah,
is
yeah.
from Zach's AC, right?
I don't have no. What? Here, it's muted. Watch.
Ah, fuck.
There. Did it go away?
Yeah.
But my AC's not even on.
Well, there was hiss every time you started talking, so there was something that was catching.
I hear hiss when you start talking.
Really? Oh, could be mine.
Yeah, do you guys hear it? When he talks.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally Rene. Huh,
Damn it.
interesting. Sorry, everybody in the chat. I had to ban dating with hot girls. Check my profile
Why? Why the fuck would you do that?
because look, there's no one in this chat that's gonna be hooking up with hot girls. So I didn't want
That's so
anyone.
It's
I'll,
so mean.
Didn't
So
want
mean,
to-
it's so true.
People to be taken advantage of.
I think my AC's on right now, so maybe if we turn off the.
Their message, their name is dating with hot girls. Check my profile. Left arrow.
Yeah.
But then they wrote in Spanish, "En el último programa de la temporada." What does this say? Entrevistan el tan buscado negro de What's Up. Bien jugado.
Did you
I
just
only-
use a racial slur?
Yeah, I just heard. That's the only thing I heard in there.
Yep. He's a racist, you heard it here.
Ah,
All I heard was getting demonetized. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, oh wait, we've exceeded. Oh wait, did YouTube ever approve us?
No, we're never
We're
gonna
never-
approve, man.
Yeah,
It's
we're
just
How's
never
that
been-
possible?
We've
They,
all,
just, they keep rolling forward we'll get it done by this date. I should see what it's at now. I think last time was end of June, which we're closely approaching.
It took me like not even 2 days to get that email. I don't know what the hell
You
happened.
know what? We don't have the same subscriber counts. That's the problem.
But this was back when I didn't have a subscribe. Well, I don't have anything now, but I mean, it was negligibly different, really. That's what I don't understand. I mean, you say that, but I mean, back then
Says-
it was like this, not like this, like it is now.
It says end of June. It went from February to April to June so far.
okay, so if you look at the pattern, it's going to be
August, right?
August next time, and then
Yep.
okay. So at least we know what to expect. We have enough data points.
refuse to use the grapple beam. Oh, I think I have to here. Damn it.
You don't.
You're doing a good job, Rene. Actually, you're pretty good at this.
I'm just guessing that Google does not really care about the 30 cents they'll make off of our channel to prioritize.
Well, let me tell you something. They care about the $500+ they've stolen from me because they won't let me extract that money.
They're probably gonna lose money in lawsuits from our rhetoric.
Well, Google got their 50%, right? And the other 50%'s frozen in an account.
Yep.
I've had bad luck with them too. They merged two of my AdSense accounts together, even though one of them was a business account that had nothing to do with the other. And even like tax and billing wise, they should be completely separated. So I don't know what the hell the deal is.
My Google Pay account was banned because I'm a corporation, and in doing so of banning it, my AdSense account is in perfectly good standing. But since I'm banned on one of their monolithic systems, I'm unable to add a payment method in AdSense to get my money out, and they refuse to answer me or to help me. Google is a terrible, terrible company.
Yep. I offered to pay. I said, look, I'll give you. What is it going to cost? $500 to just get 30 minutes with you guys, just to sort this out? And they said, nope. Try our forums.
Yeah, that's exactly what they told me. Like, I need to go to a forum to find a resolution to getting my money out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange that, I mean, especially for Google, which is a company that, for the most part, just blows money on wasteful projects, right? Like, Google only really makes money on ads, and then everything else that they do is just, like, fun time spending. So, like, why not spend a little bit of that money on having some people that can resolve issues like this? Like, there's no recourse for anyone to do anything. I mean, not every dollar spent needs to be some ridiculous moonshot to see if it works. Like, you could just put money towards, like, grunt work that needs to get done.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing and frustrating. The only thing that's even more of a frustrating pain in the ass is trying to buy anything from Voltar's stupid web store.
Hey, I fixed all those problems. It's because my web host, they employed a lot of stupid baked PHP declarations that I had to go and recode basically 60% of. But it runs great now. I'm glad you mentioned that. The web store runs really well. Got a lot of good feedback on it. You're not. You can order a board in just a few seconds. It all happens from one browser screen.
Then you don't just require a Google Wallet anymore.
That's right. The Google Wallet stuff may still stay in effect for modding services, because that's a very manual thing anyways, and those prices can change based on what happens. But for things that you're buying from me, no, it's all quick credit card payments. Over SSL. Everything. That's another thing. Everything on the site. Now that I am accepting credit cards, it is important to have everything go over a secured socket. So it's all over 443 now.
Oh, look at Rene like an amateur.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey, fuck off. He's doing his best.
He's doing way better than I do in this game, and this is one of my favorite games of all time. So I don't mind throwing shade.
No, I wasted my card. Damn it.
Has anyone been up to anything interesting since the last podcast? Not technical work-wise, just anything cool.
Stupid question. Let me think on that.
Well, work-wise, since Matt posted about it, I think I should say is that we ordered all the units for Tanglewood, so those are out in manufacturing. And
sweet.
Yeah, I'd say probably a couple of months before people start getting them in their hands, but it's at the factory now, so.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, I played.
Gonna be a little nerve-wracking when they show up, I'm sure. You plug that first one in.
Yeah.
It goes to black screen because you have dirty contacts on your Genesis or something.
It just shows the Brasso logo.
They found 3.3 volt EPROMs and threw them in there instead.
No, actually, Matt insisted that we have like a retro look for this first product. So they're actually made on UV proms on M27C322s.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned.
Yeah. But I wanted to mention it because I don't think everyone knew that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to one of those, like, just getting lost in the Canadian postal system and somehow ending up at my house instead of in the UK.
Yep.
Well, they shouldn't be shipping here. I mean, shit.
Oh, yeah, they're going directly to him?
Wait a minute.
That's the
Wait a
plan.
minute.
Cool.
I want to set him up with a couple of UMDs so we can do some tests directly there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
At least then he's the one that has to have that horrifying first moment of putting it in the console and not you.
Well, what we're doing is I'm getting the factory to make all the PCBs because the PCB design's been valid for a long time. But I said that they should only burn 10 and ship them to us for validation.
Gotcha.
I'm afraid that they're going to mess up the endianness. Like I told them, you don't touch the ROM at all. I swapped the bytes for them.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me on tonight.
Jesus. What are you doing?
I don't even want to know.
What are
Rene,
you-
the more important question for me by far is that will I be able to play this game using the triple bypass?
You guys are dumb.
Eventually, yeah. In the future.
It will be compatible, yes, Bob.
I think we should have a race to see who gets to there first. Is Ash going to have his Genesis and 32X cores done before you have your board out?
This is my
I'm
most...
sure they'll both be out before any future products from us.
They'll all be out before...
We have Dreamcast coming up soon, hopefully, something.
Shut up, Bob.
They'll all be out before there's a retro RGB wiki, that's for sure.
Oh man.
Victory.
Wrecked.
Excellent.
Yeah, just go buy the pound HDMI thing, Bob. It's all good.
This is my least favorite part of the game. Up to the next boss. I think it's the hardest boss in the game, too. I forget what his name is.
That's, what's his name?
The Ghost? Fucking hate him.
Phantoon.
Phantoon.
No.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that Phantoon?
Yeah. There's the pattern is always different. There's a lot of RNG involved. And I really suck at that boss.
Well, what's the dude's name where it's not Phantoon, but it's the water boss where you can use the grapple beam and attach yourself to the electric units to shock the boss to kill him?
I forget what his name is.
The fuck is his name?
Metroid.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
it.
Metro-
No,
Isn't
that's
Metroid
that's
the name of the main character in this game?
Yeah, Rene's
God.
Metroid. What the
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, like Zelda. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nintendo's good with that.
You know, when I was a kid, I thought that I thought Link was a chick named Zelda.
What about Princess Peach versus Princess Toadstool? They just change the names all the time.
Well, they really didn't change it. In Japan, it's like Koopa and Bowser. One was a Japanese name, the other was what they adopted in America. Peach was never Peach until Super Mario 64. Kind of like Dr. Robotnik and Eggman. It's the same sort of Japanese-American relationship.
Yeah, I remember when Super Mario 64 came out, and all of a sudden she was called Peach.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they just like swapped the mom, and we all just
Yeah.
accepted it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's totally.
Well, let's be honest. She was a good actress, but it's not like they just swapped Uncle Phil.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there's-
He was the voice of Shredder on the animated series.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
You turtles! Huh? Sounds just like that.
I wish Jimmy Hoffa was here to make fun of you right now.
Oh, Jimmy, he's busy. Oh, yeah, he's at a retreat with the Kevin Spacey Wellness Center. I talked to him today.
Oh man.
Oh shit. Okay, good.
Yeah, another cool role reversal thing in video games is like at the end of Outrun because it's a Japanese car and at the end they get out of the car and it's the girl that was driving the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Is the save point here? Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember
I know
that.
I beat Outrun, but I can't remember the ending.
Yeah, like you kind of think that like you're the dude driving the sports car because you're in the left seat, and you get out of the car and it's a right-sided driving, and the girl was driving the whole time.
What a bitch.
Huh. I remember the what was it? Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, where your final. Oh, maybe it wasn't Hot Pursuit. It was one of the ones for original Xbox, where like your arch enemy turned out to be a chick.
You're talking about Need for Speed Underground?
I think so. I liked that one. It had a great soundtrack in it.
Yeah, they were really good games. Hot Pursuit, that was my favorite of the original series. Or High Stakes. High Stakes had the Hot Pursuit chasing modes, but it was the better game. Renee, you're doing awesome.
No, I'm tremendously low on health.
You should have went back to the ship, dude.
You'll make it.
I'm gonna see if I can get some. I can farm
You're
some
fixing to get
enemies
the
here.
gravity suit. Oh my god.
So for people just tuning in, Renee, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a Super Nintendo Mini using the HD rectal vision cables into an open source scan converter.
Yeah.
Split between flat screen TV and your DataPath Vision E1S capture card.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Okay, no, I can't go to the boss right now. I'm gonna die.
Good god.
Oh, I can just keep coming back here. Excellent. Okay.
This thing has been...
And Renee, do you have the full size bracket for your card?
Yeah, yes. I had to make it
Nick, look.
myself, though.
Nick in the chat, meet your girl for night. Link in
Where?
my channel.
Yeah, because
Why do you...
the bracket that came with it didn't fit in any tower I had, so I just took a blank bracket, an empty one, and I carved out the slot for it. That's the only way I got it to fit properly.
I'm really looking forward to trying the 3D printed one because I'm not sure if it's going to be strong enough. I don't know if the 3D printed plastic would be able to do the it would be able to hold the pressure, or if it would actually have to be a stamped metal one.
It depends on which orientation you're going to print the 3D printed one.
I should check this out. This is great.
What is on that thing?
Ooh.
It's years of oxidation and corrosion, and it won't power. But I'll tell you why it won't power. It's because this is very common with these PS1 minis. If that would just focus in, the joint is cracked and broken. You can actually see me wiggle that.
Mm-hmm.
That just needs a good reflowing probably. But I'm totally engaged in this, but I'm gonna take a look at this just for fun while I'm sitting here.
Hey, we all have the E1S now, right?
I don't.
Yeah, I do.
I'll send
Because-
you one, Nick.
Mine's not the S.
Oh, I have both. I have both because Bob sent me 2 broken ones. He didn't send me one out of the kindness of his heart. He sent me 2 broken.
Yeah,
DataPath
but you
cards.
spent a little time on them, and now you have 2 free working capture cards, asshole. So you're welcome.
Define free.
Yeah, what is it for you?
So a couple things on that. If anybody in the chat knows the exact difference between the E1S and just the E, what was it, the E1 or something, or the, I forgot what it was, but that card. So it was about a year and a half ago now that I was talking to Jose, and I was like, look, this is exactly what I need. And he's like, just try this one. And I'm like, oh, but like I really actually need USB 3, whatever. I'll remember that one. And then I forgot that he told me it. And then when I finally upgraded my computer, I was like, hey, do you know of a capture card? And he was like, yeah, the one I told you a year ago. Try that again.
So the
yeah.
E1S has higher bandwidth according to several people in the chat, including Jose.
Ah, thank you.
There's one of them 4-lane and one of them's a 1-lane card or something.
I think they're both 4-lane cards. I think it's
Are
just
they?
the capabilities of the hardware. But in reality, does this really matter for
Fuck.
1080p 60 for the captures that we're doing here?
Yeah, I guess that's the best question to ask for either the 240p or 488p analog captures, or up to 1080p 60. Is there any difference at all, really?
It's a good question because my E1 is just like Renee's. It's fantastic.
I don't know enough about the bandwidth requirements, if I had to take like a stab at it, I would say like anything 720p and 1080i and less doesn't require that much.
What about 1080p at 60 frames?
That I think at least requires. I know you can't get an X1 PCIe card to do that.
Gotcha. So Jose said it doesn't matter, and Extrems is in the chat. He said you can't hit the bandwidth limit capturing DVI from the OSSC, which is awesome. So that is the absolute answer to that question then.
Right, because you're not going to hit that ceiling with this.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? Good job, dude.
I fucking hate this boss.
I also have the older VGA data path card, the one that has 2 VGA inputs that I think can go up to pretty high, actually.
JF said that we should trash talk the N64 for looking like poo-poo for him. Well, Steve already did that earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Try.
With the PS1 too, though.
Yeah, I trashed both.
Yeah, I agree. Though N64 on a CRT is a lot better. Like, don't run your 64 through an OSSC to a flat screen. There's no way it can look good.
I agree with that, my neighbor.
My point was just I didn't like how everyone, except me, for some reason, thought PS1 and 64 stuff was good graphics.
Well, as usual, Steve, you thought wrong. No, I totally agree with you in some respects. I felt like the Sega Saturn had the right idea. It was the maturity of 2D games, and the 2D sprite art was more important than the shitty sort of trailblazing beginnings of 3D games back in 94, 95. It didn't appeal to me either until I saw Virtual Fighter running on the Sega Saturn.
I mean, they were still great games, and I liked playing the games, but I never thought they looked good.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who now in retrospect think the same way, but when stuff was coming out, they were just cheap and thought that it was new, it had to be cool.
Right. There's nothing cool about smoking crack. You know what I'm saying?
Ninja Turtles didn't do drugs, man. Neither should you.
Ah,
I guess it depended on the game for me, really, as to whether I thought it looked good.
Well, you know, all of those games, I didn't think any of those games looked particularly nice. Games such as...
At the time, I thought Star Fox was pretty cool.
Yeah, but like, when I'm talking like the launch of the PS1 games like Battle Arena Toshinden that honestly like entertained me for maybe 20 minutes. Honestly, I mean that was just a very shitty fighter. It had some nice bells and whistles, but it ultimately was a very shitty fighter.
But it came on the demo disc.
Yeah, it came on the demo disc with Extreme, or 2 Extreme, that stupid sports game.
Yeah.
Jumping flat, whatever that weird game is, that first-person game. Let's see, what else did it come with? I don't remember, but I have that demo disc, that very same demo disc.
Me too.
I played the shit out of it, because you could only be the old guy and the young, or maybe the young guy, what's his name, Iji, and you could only fight the old guy, Chen or Chu or Fu or Finn.
Right around the 9 o'clock here, so I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors at Paulina Meat Market in Chicago that make the best of the worst. So go if you live in Chicago, Paulina Meat Market.
I will be in Chicago in a couple weeks.
And if you're in this chat, you're probably like really into sausages. So
I love a good sausage. Fuck off.
Paulina Meat Market. Where it's at.
Oh, awesome.
You think you're really funny, don't you, making fun of those who enjoy the sausages?
no, there's something up here. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah. So right there.
You like sausages? You like missiles?
Missiles.
Are you the sausage king of Chicago, Steve?
I'm Frauman.
I love that movie.
Adam Korlick is the sausage king of Chicago.
I believe it.
Have you been to his house yet
No.
to visit him?
Does he still live by the CTA? Can you still hear it pass by?
Yeah.
In the quick shoots.
Yeah, you know he lives somewhere on Milwaukee Avenue, like, because you can hear it like right behind his house. Take a look at what's going on in the chat.
Well, he asked if there was something new that was going on. I had some people install a sump pump in my crawl space on Monday. That was fun.
Oh yeah, the last time me and you hopped on Skype, whatever we were discussing, I noticed your entire basement was covered in plastic tarp, and I was thinking, like, somebody's definitely getting murdered down there.
Uh-oh.
I've seen this on Dexter.
I know what's happening here. You can't fool me now, see?
And actually, one of the guys, like, asked me if I knew where he can get a 360 modded, and I had no idea.
Voltar.com.
Voltar's mod shop.
No, I don't do that. I don't do those.
Do you do capture interfaces for datapath cards? Because I kind of remember 6 months ago you telling me you were going to send me one of those. I think it's still on your desk next to you.
Bob, it's interesting. I was going to send you one of those, but then I realized you weren't worth it. There. I worked that little bastard off. Tell me you can't do it with an 858D. You can do it if you believe in yourself.
Nice.
Ah.
Firebrand X is advertising your Game Gear modding services, Voltar.
What Game Gear modding services? Oh, is he trying to be funny? Oh.
Oh. Yeah, and your
I'm
Sega
laughing.
CD1 modding services, right?
My what?
Your Sega CD1 modding services.
Your-
No
your
trace
CD
quality for Voltar.
Your Sega CD1 phone support services.
Well, let me just explain something to you. No. That's
What are
it.
these?
There's something here, right? Yeah.
What are these like dudes from Star Wars called?
Stormtroopers, Shadow Troopers, Sand
dude.
Troopers.
Those are the robots that,
You were
that
watching
get
the game
flipped
set.
upside down and have their feet burned.
Yeah.
Those are Sand Troopers. I am watching.
So what do you have left? You just got to get this suit,
Right.
right?
His
And
gravity
then-
suit's right down here. He's going to step into the hand of the Chozo, and he's going to get the gravity suit.
You already did that.
Yeah.
Why did I pause this or something?
Yeah, maybe you're a little lagged.
I am lagged really bad because you just now got the gravity suit. Like right now, you're getting
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but you said get the gravity suit and then go into the hand of the Chozo, but we already went into the hand of the Chozo.
Okay. Yeah, I must be a little bad. I must be a little lagged here.
Nice.
You got to do what you got to do, boys.
You're a classy broad, Voltar.
Let's see. Yep. I remember that. Love the gravity suit. My whole life changed once I obtained that.
Even that, I'm monitoring it on my laptop, and I'm only like 2 or 3 seconds behind. So.
Well, you're in the tube right now.
Ah, damn it.
I think you're doing pretty damn good.
I love the look of the above ground on the planet. Like all the background and everything?
I like it better in the beginning when it's raining. It really adds a really sexy ambience to this.
Is that rain or is that snow?
I guess it could be snow, but I think it's rain because if you look at her footsteps when she's walking, you can see sort of like the saturated grounds emitting water.
Yeah, I always assumed it was rain.
Maybe
Plus
it
it's
was
thundering.
rain/sleet/snow because the weatherman doesn't really know what it is. So that's what they put.
Oh, there's something up here.
Yeah, it's I don't remember what's up there. I think it's a bomb. You bomb the shit out of it there. I remember that.
Does anyone have any thoughts on the new Battletoads game announcement? My thought is that it's gonna be not as funny
Oh,
to
yeah?
troll GameStop anymore.
Why? What happened? Why? What sort of cultural thing am I not understanding?
Oh, people like for a while have been like prank calling GameStop and trying to pre-order Battletoads. This has been like a thing
Really?
for a while. Yeah. I don't know how that became a thing, but it's the internet, so. But now you can actually probably pre-order Battletoads.
Yeah, I remember that because you had to bomb the hell out of that. Only I used real bombs. I didn't use power bombs because I'm a loser. This was really cool. I thought this was like something super awesome when I was a kid. Like, it was just an amazing little secret.
Damn it.
I do wish that this game received an actual true successor to the Super Nintendo that was effectively the same game or same engine, I guess, but just a different Metroid game.
Yeah. I mean, Fusion's too linear for my liking.
Yeah, so was Zero Mission. I mean, I like it, but they really took a lot of the exploration out for some reason. I guess to make it easier, more, I guess, palatable for people who aren't diehard players.
I liked Zero Mission, but I didn't like Fusion. I don't remember why.
I like them both for very different reasons.
Zero Mission was definitely better than Fusion, but
Yeah.
There are so many people that disagree with you. I like them both, so whatever. But
Fusion just tells
I
you
already
where to
forgot
go.
what that new one, or well, the Metroid Prime 2, or not Prime, Metroid 2, the one they just re-released for 3DS. What is that called?
Return of Samus.
Return of Samus. Okay.
It's a shit game.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oops.
Ooh, what's on the other side of that? Oh, okay. I thought for some. Yeah, I didn't like. I get a lot of flack for that, but honestly, the gameplay isn't bad. It's the goddamn
Okay.
controls in that game. I feel like she weighs 4 bazillion pounds, and she just the controls just weren't very good in my opinion.
See, this spot, you need to land right in the middle, else you kind of...
But what's that up
Yeah,
there, Rene?
There we go.
You've got another little spot up there. Like, is there another hidden little thing up there in the ceiling?
No.
Really? Okay.
Because you don't land right in the middle, then you only trigger one of those blocks. And you can't get all those missiles.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Daddy.
Oh, I just went twice.
Yeah, well, that's a huge waste of time.
Yeah. Well, I was a kid. I didn't
There you go.
do my homework, so I played this.
Oops.
Yeah, in television cables. We're gonna do that next.
Oh wow, that's crazy. I forgot. I couldn't remember that it brings you right back down to almost to spawn.
Yeah.
Such an amazing game.
Yeah, so then you got to go back to Brinstar all the way to Meridia now, so...
Yeah, you've got to go fight the Metroids. Since you did such a good job defeating Kakamir.
I forget what's in here. Probably a map room. Fuck. No, what is in here? See, now it's
Do you
beginning...
think you're gonna hit the 2-hour mark, or are you running long on this one?
It'll probably take a bit longer. Oh, yeah, it's the fucking map room. Damn it.
You
Gotta
blew it.
believe. Gotta believe.
I believe I can fly. Oh! I can touch the sky.
I'm gonna keep going till I beat it. Though.
Well, that's the best attitude to have. I mean, I'm trying to think of this area. It might have been in North Fair. It's probably in Brinstar. But what it was this room that was like that had water in it, knee high, and at the end of this little room, it looked like this actually. It was a room that looked like this but had water in it. There was this shell of this carcass, this clear shell of this creature, and I could never jump beyond it. I don't remember where that room is, or God damn, I wish I remembered that because I'd like to find out what was in there.
I thought I was in a different spot here.
You gotta. This is where they teach you how to wall jump.
No,
this is how
no,
they
no.
Teach you how to booster jump.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I thought
That's
I
it.
was in. I was in a different spot here.
Is it in Zero Mission where they teach you how to wall jump, or is that in this game too?
It's in this game, but it's in a green area. It's like to
Yeah.
the left.
It's down here,
Down.
just where I got the charge beam earlier.
Come on, Rene. You're almost as good as that one guy. What do they call him? Blue Glass or something? He's always at 80 GQ.
Oh no, those guys are amazing. I can't play like that.
Not with that attitude, you can't.
Yeah,
what's
you're
here?
such a defeatist, Rene.
I forget. Oh yeah, okay. See, I'm starting to not remember where things are now.
Well, what the hell's in here?
Stop blaming your old age, Rene, and just play the damn game.
I just play a fucking game.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Just do like Corlick does.
I wish I could talk to that guy and have him freak out and yell at me once a year, because I have a feeling we would get a great new soundbite like once a year.
Yeah.
I had a beautiful, I get a lot of, I mean, I don't get a lot, but I do get some fan mail now and then. And somebody did, oh, here it is. Somebody did send me some beautiful, beautiful fan mail. I don't know, I think Steve, when you were here, did I show you this? Yep. Yeah, I tried fucking playing.
This is my favorite. I love this. That's why it's used in your intro. Such a good scene.
So I need to get this framed, but I have a very thoughtful fan who sent me this beautiful poster. It's very large and in charge, and I want to be very careful because you don't understand the quality of this is truly remarkable.
That's so weird.
Figures it out. And there's even a beautiful shot of him holding that POS scaler that he's an expert on.
Oh my god.
And so, I mean, I can certainly appreciate artwork like this. I hope Nick...
That's so good.
Oh my god, what the hell is that?
I know.
What
I
am I
know.
witnessing
Really?
right now?
It's brilliant.
Mr. Corlick figures it out. Oh. So anyways, a fan sent me this. I gotta get it framed.
I was gonna say you have to frame it now.
Dude, that is amazing.
Oh, wait, no, hold the fucking phone. You need to bring that to one event that he's at and ask him to sign it for you.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, I will come with you. If you give it to me, if you're too chicken shit, I'll fucking do it. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
I don't think he even knows who I am.
Yeah, I don't think it can be you, Bob. I don't think it could be you. It's gotta be somebody else.
Or is it that much more dick if it's me?
No,
Yeah, remember me?
it's gotta be someone else. It's gotta be someone he doesn't even know.
Yeah, I don't think he knows anybody other than Bob here. Like
Yeah.
It's remarkable that he does all this RGB stuff, yet all the resources that he uses are probably Bob's, yet he didn't know who Bob was.
Yeah.
That's really rich.
Yeah.
There were a few people over the years, a few famous YouTubers that not only did they take from my page, they read like 2 paragraphs in a row, word for word, directly off my page. So I don't know if he's one of them. I can only assume because of some of the weird stuff, or maybe I hope not. But I don't know. But yeah, it'd be pretty funny.
That's all great, but I I mean, I don't mean to get off topic or anything. I think Woozle's in chat. Bob, where are we at with Woozle doing things with butt sex and getting things ready for people?
I think he made everything public, where it's basically just finishing up the last little bits and then getting into production and getting Game Tech to sell it. So I'm pretty sure there's no inside info at this point. I think it's just all pretty much out there and ready to go. But he did have that one last update that I got wrong in the roundup, of course. What a shock, right? But he's able to have it run without stuttering, close to the exact frequency of the or refresh rate of the Game Boy Advance.
Like, can you give me a percentage of what it's off by?
He's in the chat. Moozle, will you just respond for me, please? Because I don't want to fuck it up again. Now you know Extrems is pain every time I get on the roundup and say the wrong thing about the update that he put. Sorry.
You know what you should have done for your 100th episode is just do an update where literally everything you said was a falsehood. Like the whole episode.
To clarify some information, because it's a little confusing because it's kind of convoluted and all over the place, but the latest update that the GBI software, it does not the 720 mode and some of the other sort of experimental video output modes, they do not get along with the non-component cable video options that are available for the GameCube. Is that right?
I believe so.
Okay.
At least for now. You never know what Extrems is going to throw at us.
Of course. Yeah, Woozle, where are you?
I still think the very cool, and I know how hard this is, right? So this is me underselling it, but I still think the next greatest addition to the Game Boy interface software would just be booting to a basic bare bones menu where you can select all options. You don't have to mess with anything else.
And just to clarify something else, that I think I understood correctly, but you are able to sort of natively capture video and audio with the GBI software if you're
right onto
using
an
it?
SD card.
That's really cool. I wonder how that works.
Extrems is in the chat, by the way. If you had something to ask about that. He says he can't do anything. GC Video Lite is fine.
What is GC Video Lite? Is that like one of these permutations of this open
It
source
might
project?
be, I'm not sure. I don't know about this in any of this world.
I don't either. I'm too naked for you.
Isn't the light the component version?
Could be.
I think so, yeah.
So I wonder, the video and audio capture to an SD card, do you think that's sort of in the same spirit as sort of Quake and Doom demos?
I never thought of it that way. I do know I have a couple of people who are doing speedrunners that, or who do speedruns, that I'm going to set them up with that so they could just pretty much press a button and have it recorded for them. Yeah, the GC Video Lite's the analog only, so it's the one that's just component and RGB.
So maybe it's some sort of compliance issue with the HD reses, with on the device itself that it doesn't agree with because it's trying to do something else. Who knows?
Maybe. I got. Hold on. Let me see if I could show everybody without screwing this up too bad. But all of those are what I have to go through and sort and reorganize. Everything was perfect and labeled, and now it all got jumbled during the move. So I have a GameCube somewhere in there. I have a GameCube and a bunch of different things somewhere in there that I could be testing. So as soon as I sort through that, which hopefully will be by the end of the weekend, then I can just flip the switch and start testing this stuff.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool.
That would be cool.
I'm not gonna lie, it's so nice to have my D32 back. even though it's not plugged in, I'm like, yes, I managed to hold on to that.
Is that your bra size? D32?
Roasted.
Oh, that is awesome. I'm gonna fucking make you motorboat me when I go out to see you next time.
Yeah, whoops.
I remember at one of my first jobs, I referred to a circuit oscillation as motorboating, and I was told I shouldn't do that.
Makes
Whoops.
sense though.
Fuck.
If you put your finger on it and it stops.
I'm sorry.
That's what was wrong with. That's what was wrong with Tim Worthington's N64 RGB kit with Corey. Corey brought an N64 kit here when he came a few months ago for me to install, and it had very subtle noise in specific games. And then when I put my finger on the clock line, that noise totally 100% went away. So it was an oscillative effect. It was an oscillation effect. So I put some sort of odd pull-up on the clock line to stiffen it up. Totally went away.
So you put your finger on the problem.
I put my finger on the problem and I solved it and addressed it. Why that's not handled properly on the board, I don't know. But Corey was very happy.
I'm confused a bit as to where I'm heading now.
Jason from GameTuck's here.
Oh, hey Jay, you sick bastard.
Everybody's here.
Yeah,
The only person
Jimmy
not.
House is here too.
Oh,
Jimmy
shit,
House
Jim's
is here.
He must have
Yeah.
escaped Kevin's. Good. Very good. I'm proud of Jimmy.
No.
He's come a long way.
No.
So is anyone going to too many games in like
Fuck.
9 days?
I was invited, but I just don't have the time.
Invited by who?
By everybody.
Like officially invited to speak?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. I was invited by some guy who messaged me on Twitter and said he was a big fan of mine. He wanted me to come.
Nice.
I'm just kidding. I was not invited.
Well, me and Steve are going.
Are you guys going to? Are you doing the thing that you were asked to do, or are you not going to?
I
Do
don't
that.
think so. I haven't heard anything. I think we're just going Saturday.
Well, I hope you have a good time.
Yeah.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
I don't know why people go to those things. It doesn't look like a lot of fun most of the time.
Too many games.
Leave Kentucky, Zach? Do you ever go anywhere else?
Bob, I've been everywhere that you've not been.
Too many games is in just outside of Philly, and it actually fairly well lives up to its name. Like it's pretty vendor focused, where a number of conventions have, like MagFest barely has anyone selling games. It's mostly other stuff. Definitely, the last time I went, the focus there was games and just like 1 or 2 panel rooms, and yeah, it's good. It's good for one day. It's not a convention I would go for like the full weekend, personally.
Are they going to put you up for as far as hotel and travel expenses, Nick?
I mean,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
That'll be the day.
Sorry.
Aaron asked if we're going to Portland Retro Gaming Convention.
I'd love to. That's a place that I will
Yeah.
probably go to next year if I can, for sure.
When is that? Is that October?
Yeah, I think so. It's right in the sort of before fall turns into real fall. I'd love to go. Love
You
to go
just
there.
want to go to meet Metal Jesus.
Who's he again?
That's what I said last year, and you know how many people in my chat were like, "Oh, fuck you! You don't know who he is. You're just trying to be cool." I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, October 20 and 21.
I know Metal Jesus rocks just as about as well as he knows me.
No, I want to go there. That would be a cool one to go to.
I'd love to go. Well, let's all go.
Metal Jesus Rocks is a hidden YouTube gem.
For sure.
Yeah, they should like
something
totally
else?
invite us all and pay for our flights and stay,
I'll
and
totally
have us do a panel. That would be awesome.
Yeah, they should pay for my dog sleds.
Yeah. They should pay for your passport application.
Yeah, I still have to do that.
You know, speaking of Metal Jesus, I did see, once I turned ad block on, I did see a particular video that he recently did. I'm just kidding about the ad block thing. But I did see that. Did you guys watch the Dreamcast HDMI cable video that he did?
Oh, by
It was
pound?
really interesting.
The pound me in the nuts one?
I guess his testing methodology was really interesting. He compared this HDMI cable for the Dreamcast to a VGA output that's also being converted into HDMI because its capture interface isn't able to intercept VGA sort of. That has no VGA interface. So I'm like, what is the point? I guess I didn't understand his testing methodology because you're supposed to be testing this HDMI cable against the native output of VGA, yet you're converting the VGA output into HDMI, and that's just a very sort of interesting.
But with any capture method, like you're just drawing that same line, like elsewhere, right? Because if you had a capture device that took VGA in, I guess you're still testing your capture device's ability to sample that.
Right, there's no way to do these tests without having that intermediary.
Which is why I thought, like, even including the VGA was not even worth anything.
I don't know if I agree with that. That's akin to saying, well, we have an intermediary here. I'm going to do this RGB capture with an OSSC, and then I'm going to also do the Adam Korlick special, and you really can't do anything about it, but it's going to sit in the middle. I don't think that's fair to say.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying...
Sick bastards.
I just thought he should have just compared composite and HDMI. That's what I'm saying.
I think he should just stick to hidden gem videos, because I think anybody going to watch a video of his to look for a true game comparison, from a technical standpoint, would be like watching a video I made about how to be a ballerina.
Well,
I don't agree with that, because he's got a huge audience, and he can do those comparisons just fine. I mean, it's just a matter of which ones should he be doing.
To be fair, I think he's pretty good at like picking various games. I forgot what the other video he did. It was reviewing, but he did a pretty good sampling of different games.
When he did the analog Super NT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
testing things that normally trip up like various devices.
And I thought in the Dreamcast one, he did mention something. I don't know how accurate it is. It was something about the game that you tricked into VGA had slowdown.
Oh, Gunbird 2. Yeah, Gunbird 2. Yeah.
I don't know how accurate that is, but that's an interesting observation that if he wasn't testing all sorts of different things, he wouldn't have stumbled across.
Yeah, I thought his video was fine. I mean, there's just like always caveats that you have to present, which.
Right, but the idea of comparing this HDMI cable, it just seemed moot to me to compare that at all. Is all I'm saying. That just
right. No, I agree with you there.
Totally ridiculous. Like, I'm not like Bob. I'm not going to say anything evil about him, but. I'm not going to say anything. He seems like a nice guy.
Bob was really just promoting his second channel, Retro Ballerina.
That's right. You caught me out. You caught me out.
But I'm really looking forward to a Dreamcast cable that will be provided by HD Retrovision. Is that still happening?
What does still mean?
Still is the appropriate word there.
Oh,
it's
well
still.
Well done.
No, really. I mean, I'm really looking for. See, here's what I was thinking. And Bob, Bob, you mentioned this. You remember how I was talking about in our private chat that nobody else can access or add us on Skype to get into? Do you remember how I was talking about the Dreamcast and the OSSC? Because it works this way with the Trainmeister. It doesn't discriminate between the two sort of video modes. If you have a VGA connection to your Dreamcast, a VGA out, if you trick it, you have VGA connected, but you flip it back into the 240 interlace or a composite mode, will RGB still work through that VGA connection?
I think so, because And again, I mentioned this before, and I have to verify because I don't really know where my notes are, but I'm pretty sure that H-Sync and V-Sync are available all the time, no matter what mode you're in. So if you have connecting to something that can recognize 240p H-Sync and V-Sync separate, then you should just be able to use a VGA connection and flick the mode switches.
I mean,
I think. I mean, I have to verify that. I don't remember what
Come on.
I checked. I just remember like the data online was wrong.
but as
like,
far as
wherever like it shows a chart of the different modes and stuff is available on what modes and what's not. I just remember that being wrong. I don't remember which modes it was.
so the timings though, even though they're horizontal and vertical is still being shit out of the connector, are the timings reflective of the actual video mode too though?
Maybe. I have to double check. I don't remember because I wasn't really dealing with that, so it was of no concern to me. It was just something I noticed when I was scoping.
Well, it's of concern to me because I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting to take a look at.
I mean, I'll check again for you.
Well, I don't need you to do that. Jesus Christ, Steve, I can hook the goddamn scope up and jam this thing out, 240 mode and check. Yeah, no, wait,
it's
I can't.
It's
You
just
do that.
harder for you because I have like equipment I made to like probe all the pins while it's on without having to go inside and stuff.
Yeah, go
You
inside.
missed the most golden opportunity.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say, well, it's a little harder for you because I actually know how to use the scope.
That's true too. That's true too.
Fuck.
Be fair. Zach watched your video, Bob. Now he knows. Now he knows.
Bob, I have scopes that are older than you.
I still love how when Steve walked in and just saw the camera sitting there, the look on his face, like, uh-oh.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, I could come over and show you how to use the scope.
And now you showed us all how to use the scope.
I've attempted, so.
I did make a decision though. By the way, Rene, you're still doing a great job. I am going full component within the next 3 months. I'm getting rid of every SCART switch and every SCART cable from behind my media center to my television. I'm going full component.
Bob,
Which is going to be a pain in the ass for me because HD Retrovision, they don't make adapters for everything. So I'm really going to have. I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm really going to have to figure some things out in terms of interfacing rectal cables to 3 or 4 specific systems that I'm going to have to jam video out of. But I'm excited.
I was gonna say I actually just got a notification today that I need to renew retroypvpr.com. So, Bob, let me know, man.
That's hilarious.
I'm squatting. I'm domain squatting.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could beat that boss like that.
It's the
That's pretty
easiest.
cool.
Yeah, I always thought it was the easiest way to beat him.
Yeah,
And-
that's the only way I've ever beaten him.
Yeah,
I just shot him enough times.
yeah. It's just I messed up. You have to try to get caught by him when you're close to the wall. So it took longer for me to finish him.
Hey, Zero Res in the chat asked about RCA to BNC adapters. I didn't really think they made a difference until Steve showed me the ways. So if you go back to that scope video that we just put out, there's actually links in the description
There's
that go
something here.
directly to the really good stuff, the RCA to BNCs.
Don't buy crap on Amazon or Monoprice. They all suck.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes, I would say that. Don't use them.
I got some shit ones from eBay, and they're
Yeah.
really really loose. Like you can hold the RCA cable upside down and it will actually fall out.
No kidding.
And then there you got the gold ones, which like you rub your finger on and the paint falls off. It's like, okay. Anything that's gold is probably crap. You don't even need gold on the outside. You want gold on the inside where the BNC pin is. That's where you want the gold.
Yeah.
Someone wrote
So
this.
just Just buy the DigiKey ones.
Did you see Did you see Twin Stick Gamers comment in chat there? It's pretty good.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm just watching the game. I don't have the chat on.
I'm also not reading the chat.
You'll never make it on Twitch, Rene.
Well, that's why you guys are there. You guys are there to talk.
Well, I think we've established a bunch of things. A, we're never going to. No one here is ever going to make it on Twitch, and B, no one of this group, of this accolade, will ever join the Metal Jesus Rocks West Coast Cabal army. We're fucked.
Are they a cabal or a cartel?
I've never been up in
think
that
they're
area
actually-
even.
I
In
think they're kind of both. I think that group is kind of.
You know, I actually don't have any problem with any of them, and I certainly don't have any problem about people, you know, telling great videos about the games they like. I get annoyed when people just jump onto the wrong. They try to get out of their wheelhouse. You know what I mean?
I'm totally in alignment with you.
It would
Bob.
be exactly like if Zach put out a video telling people how to keep stock in their web stores.
Right. Or Bob putting up a weight loss video.
I lose weight all the time. I just can't.
I was gonna say something about Bob, like estimating market size of potential value for products. So he's like,
Why do you mention that, Nick? Because when I sold stuff, I always had stock, and I always gauged the market value properly. So eat it.
Yeah, but you're telling us like millions of people are going to.
I didn't say millions. I never said millions. Zach miscalculated 1.2 versus 12 million, but I never said millions.
That's one time. Bob, I can name a dozen different things where you've tried to inspire me with these great ideas. They're going to satisfy maybe a room of half a dozen people.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that facetiously, I'm being dead set honest. Like, you have come up with these fantastical ideas that are just amazing, that will satisfy maybe, I don't know, the graduating class of my high school. I mean, which is 13 people.
Oh my god.
You have 13 people in your class?
Oh, dude, like...
Zach,
Graduating.
Stop jerking off the Adam Corlick poster.
Yeah,
It's
Jesus,
really
man. Put that
Am I-
away.
I don't know why I do that. It's just really second nature.
I know why you do it. I know why you do it.
Yeah, Ryan from Castlemania Games is here. He said we're all welcome to Seattle. We're gonna all come at the same time and stay at your place.
Too bad. I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
going there.
goddamn right we are.
Get the room ready. We're gonna throw down 5 sleeping bags next to each other.
Voltar, finish the damn data path adapter. I have. It is done. It's in the mail.
No, it's not. It's still sitting next to you.
It's in the mail.
It's in a package with my name on it that you haven't brought to the actual post office yet.
You fucking cunt. Oh, can I not say that on here?
Oh, you can count it all you want. It still doesn't change the fact that you haven't actually brought it to UPS yet.
I don't use UPS because they suck. But it is
Post
on
office
it.
much better.
I would use the USPS over the post office any goddamn day.
USPS is the post office.
I mean, I would use USPS over UPS. Excuse me. Any day of the week.
I wouldn't.
I
Yeah. UPS will cover you if they screw up. USPS, it's a black hole.
Maybe
You're
you
done.
should learn to cover yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're covered, bro.
All right, Rene, you got 15 minutes to finish.
He's
You do
almost
it.
there. He's almost there.
It's gonna take a bit longer, but I'm gonna finish it.
Well, Nick, quit trying to shut him down. Quit trying to shut him down, for God's sakes. He's doing it.
Alright, I'm out of beer. I'll be right back.
SRGE this weekend. I don't know what that is, Ryan. Seattle Retro Gaming Expo? Is that like Portland Retro Gaming Expo's sad cousin?
I don't know, but I've always wanted to talk about this, and I keep forgetting about it because I can't remember the damn game. But Axiom Verge, that's a Metroid sort of Mania clone. Is it for the 360, or is it for something else?
No, it's for
Axiom
for
Verge
the-
is on a bunch of things.
There's on
it's on
multiple.
the the new consoles though.
Oh,
It's
I
on
thought
Switch, PS4.
I wonder if it's any good.
It is good. Bob played it a lot. I talked to the developer at E3 in 2014 when Sony, or I don't know, if they've been doing it since, but I think it was the first year Sony flew in their indie devs to sit next to their games and talk about them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was the year where I thought like Nintendo had their shit together, and I went to the Nintendo booth, and then I walked over to the Sony booth, and then that was like way cooler because I was talking to the devs.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, that game's cool. I thought it came out a long time ago, but it didn't come out till recently. It was cool though. I played it for the one and only time I played my PS4, which was a year after I got it.
You may think that's cool, but it's not as cool as this. I think that's much cooler.
What are you pointing to?
Well, oh wait, I was gonna do something. Well, Steve. God damn it, I can't do that. Yeah, I can do it now. Well, Steve, I have to tell you everything. I have an LED in my butt. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I haven't played Axiom Verge yet. I'm gonna probably get that at some point, but I'd like to.
I'd like to play the fucking Miracle, the Monster World game. You know, the Sega Master System PC Engine.
The remake, Wonder
Retool.
Boy and the Dragon's Trap.
Yeah, the
Or-
retool they did for the Switch.
Mhm.
I'd like to play that.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
played that on PS4. It was good. I guess that Monster Boy in Something Kingdom is coming out later this year, but it's done by a totally different studio. If I understand that correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looks good. I was a fan of that restyling. It was also cool because you could one of the shoulder buttons you could use to flip between the retro styling and the modern styling and see what the levels look like on Master System. That was pretty neat. Bonus.
Missed an item up there. Oh,
Hey
well.
Bob, answer the girl's question. The girl geek.
It's the girl
That sounded
G33K.
That sounded. I do realize it's actually her screen name, but that's it. Answer the girl.
What? I'm not being a dick. It's the
I know
girl
it's her
geek.
screen name. It's actually her. You were correctly reading. It just
You're such a
you weren't
cunt.
reading the chat. That sounds kind of dick, but no.
Well, fuck off. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of research and actually a lot of actual real analysis. The PS2's PS1 driver changes a little bit in firmware, but it's not good enough. Well, it's not to the point to where I would totally replace my PS1 with a PS2. A lot of games that have low, there are certain effects of the PS1's GPU that aren't simulated properly, especially when you get into some gradient dithering effects. Me and Steve talked about this before. The vents in Metal Gear Solid. It's like a gamma problem, but it's not a gamma problem. You don't have those steps in color and brightness.
Yeah, it looks messed up.
Everything's all fucked up, and I think that I will install a real PS1 in concert with my PS2. I will not use my PS2 for all my PS1 games. I know that might sound a little bitchy, but and you know what? I don't know about I've not done any sort of cycle analysis, but I'm really surprised that a lot of these runners they sanction the use of PS2 hardware for doing PS1 runs. I think that's really interesting.
It without a doubt on certain models loads faster. That's why I was wondering. Did you ever figure out if you could flash some of the sub firmwares like that, or if it's tied to the exact hardware or something like that?
The only part of memory that you can flash on the PS2 is a small section of NVRAM, and that is dedicated for firmware maintenance for the optical pickup. If you took your Sony, if for example, if your laser failed and you had to send it back to Sony, and they didn't have the KHS 400C laser assembly to put in there, they had like the HD7. Well, they'd have to write new firmware and calibrate the laser for that PS2 by writing into that memory space and doing all the calculations. That's the only area that I'm aware of that you can write to on the PS2's memory. So I don't think you can. I don't even know where the PS1 firmware is stored. If it's stored on the BIOS, maybe you could, but I don't know. I think it's interesting that they sanction that without, and I don't think they've really done a lot of research. I think that people who are doing real PlayStation 1 runs should really do that on native hardware, period. What do you think, Bob?
I think with the specific case of
wait, is there something
PS1
there?
and PS2, since PS2 from the factory without any mods plays PS1 games, you should choose whatever's easiest. But when I was playing Symphony of the Night, I borrowed a friend's PS2. It was the same model, the one that you always recommend, and it was great. I mean, I started the first half of the game on it. I was very happy. And then, or actually no, I started the first half of the game on a PS3, and then I moved over to his, and it was beautiful.
He did screw attack.
Yeah, I know. I'm
And then I
confusing
moved
my
to a
rooms
PS1
here.
and it slowed down a lot. And it might have been because mine was just old, needed a new laser assembly or something, but my PS1 that I was using for this game at least was way slower.
Yeah.
It was actually Scott's PS1. So maybe Scott needs a new laser assembly in his.
I should have
Or
gone
maybe I was
left to
using
start
really
with.
shitty CD media. Do you think that could affect it, Zach?
Oh, sure, absolutely, certainly. But my point of contention isn't so much the fact, isn't how fast the optical pickup is and reading the data in. My point is like the simulation of certain PS1 processes on the PS2. That's more of an issue for me. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't know how to really. I don't really know how to articulate that well.
But every anomaly I've seen PS1 games on PS2 has been a graphical one. So maybe the CPU is running exact, but maybe the graphics is not. Like, which one does the graphics and which one does the...
The Emotion Engine's vector unit, there's two vector unit processors in the EE, which is the GPU for the PS2. The vector unit 0 handles all of the GPU functions of the PS1, but the PS2 has the R3000, well, it's technically, it's not really a MIPS R3000 on the PS1, it's actually, it's an LSI chip that's been baked to pretty much be a MIPS R3000, but it has some extra stuff. But the IOP, the GTE, which is the Geometry Transform Engine, and the CPU are all physically present on the PS2. The graphics chip is simulated, like I said, through the PS2's GPU. But having said that, I don't know. It's just I would like to know what sort of researches went into them making the decision of sanctioning PS2 games or PS2 hardware running PS1 games for real speedruns, because I can tell you right now, by the time you get to like the 7500 series or 1000 series, that's complete PS1 emulation. I don't know. I figured that they would want more honest hardware. I don't know. Forget I said anything.
You're wondering why the official bodies accept that, but I think a lot of people feel that it's not the same, or know it's not the same, and so that's why they buy our PlayStation adapters, right?
I think that's exactly right.
When people are like, "You're idiots! You just get a PS2 and play PS1 games," and like one group understands and one group just doesn't get it.
Well, what's interesting is
if you're using a PSIO, that's kind of a no-brainer, because then you definitely want to stay with that, not a PS2.
Gotta believe.
I think that, well, from what I've done, so I've kind of read the criteria of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and it's really interesting. You can use the PS2 to run your PS1 games. That's sanctioned. But what isn't sanctioned are any modifications to the PlayStation 2. Example, you can't use an HD loader to run games. To me, that's remarkable because we can use the PS2 to artificially speed up the read-in times, but we can't use an optical. I don't understand the difference between the two of those. It's just really kind of weird, and maybe it's because I don't understand like a lot of it. What the objective is. Oh God, you're doing it, Rene.
Was that your first?
Yeah,
God damn it.
I know. It's just a mini boss too. I can't believe I died.
So Zach, your personal decision, and this is maybe this is a weird question, but like for me, the SNES Mini is a perfectly good console. I love it, but I just wanted a fat SNES. That's what I had as a kid. So my quest for the one chip is what what led me down this path, and that was it. At the end of the day, the only reason that when you come over and you see my Super Nintendo, it's a one chip. The only reason is because when I look at the case, I want to see the old one. It's dumb, I know. Is that your reasoning for insisting upon the PS1, or do you just have anything else? What's your thoughts? Why do you insist on having the original?
Well, the reason I insist on having the original is because it's for the simple fact that with the original PS1, there is no room for error, and there is no marginal area where things can get hokey with Game X or Game X1 or Game X2. It's the most honest way of playing and running PlayStation 1 games. When people say that the PS2 has PS1 hardware and the games are 100% the same, that's absolutely not true. That's not true at all. The graphics are the same. If the graphics were the same and rendered the same way, you wouldn't have the option for graphical smoothing and filtering in the PS2's firmware for PS1 games. It's just not true, and because of that, you're always going to run into certain problems. And quite frankly, I don't see why that would be sanctioned, and PSP wouldn't be sanctioned. Because the PSP,
I was just asking yours. I wasn't asking about the debate, and you just said because you just want the most flawless PS1 experience. You don't ever want to when I see a 2-chip SNES, I just can't get over the blurriness. And if you're seeing the sky and Symphony of the Night, it's gonna drive you crazy.
That's what drives me crazy.
Yeah, it drove me crazy. Metal Gear Solid drove me crazy. Rayman drove me crazy. Got a bunch of games. Even my Final Fantasy Anthology shit that drove me crazy. I just think that people kind of shit on the OG PS1 hardware when they should really kind of be using it more, especially when they're running games. Because, like I said, the PSP, it's really no different than the PS2. Both the PS2 and the PSP system have MIPS CPU hardware on there, so both of those are full-on CPU utilizers. The CPU is real. They're both emulating the graphics subsystem. So I don't know. To my point, I don't know why the PS2 is sanctioned, but people have such a problem with the PSP when it's virtually the exact same thing. The graphics section is being emulated and rendered artificially on both of those systems. It's fucking retarded.
I mean, I am not a speedrunner, clearly, but it would be my opinion that any official way to play that hardware should be, should be allowed. And I know that's probably not right, but I mean, if it's official and you can get it from Sony, then you should be able to speedrun with it.
Totally.
Not going there, Rene. It's not looking good.
I guess I kind of agree with that, but I don't think it's fair, and because you have because of the speed differences, you have all these permutations of systems. Well, I hold a record on the 7001, but I was slower on my 39,000 fat PS2. I think that's ridiculous. If you even the playing field and use original hardware that's tuned properly, and then all of those sort of handicaps and perks and pros, you're leveling the playing field. Using PS2s to run these games, you're creating too many radical factors.
Use those super missiles.
Use those super missiles.
Well, he throws them back at you.
Yeah, but you did the most damage to him when you were raping him with the super missiles.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I've ever died at this guy until today. This is pissing me off.
If you want to use the PS2, that's fine, and it's actually probably one of the best systems to do PS1 stuff. I'm just saying, from a speedrunner's perspective, you want to be as monolithic as you can with all of your runners and all of the systems that they run. That's my only point. I hope that makes sense, Bob.
It does. It's an opinion that I have no stake in because I'm not a speedrunner. It's just
Right.
it's one of those cool discussions I get to be part of, but keep my mouth shut because it's just doesn't apply to me.
Right.
I don't know.
Doesn't apply to me either, but whatever. Suck me. Hard.
Okay, I need to beat this guy. I'm really pissed off now.
Come on, dude. I'm tired of you getting owned. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Well, Bob, let me ask you this. What do you think about people who do, like, Ocarina of Time is a super popular game that people speedrun. What do you think of people who use the Wii console and they use the virtual game, they use the virtual console to play and run Ocarina of Time? Because that's officially sanctioned. Do you think that should be clumped in with people who are actually using real Nintendo 64s?
So no, because that's definitely emulation. That is 100% emulation.
Does
But
it?
it's official.
I thought it ran faster on the GameCube, right?
Yeah, it most likely will run better on not the virtual console.
No, sorry. I thought it ran faster on the. Yeah, on the virtual console. Sorry. The
I
frame
think at the
rate
end of the day,
was a bit
we
faster.
can all agree, at least, that Billy Mitchell is a hero and did nothing wrong.
I totally agree with that. I think there was a character assassination plot. I blame it on the liberalism. I blame it on the leftist agenda to bring down, the Southern Florida conservative businessman.
It's the damn media, man.
I hate talking shit about that guy because his role in Game of Thrones is amazing, but I just can't get behind his cheating.
I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he was an honest player from 1983 until today, and the powers that be, libtards, have just totally character assassinated his ass.
Yeah, I think he was gonna come out with like a Kanye type statement, and this was his punishment
In fairness,
for going full MAGA.
I know we're joking around.
That's why the writers of the Pixel movie put that whole scene in, because they kind of thought he was cheating this whole time. I didn't realize that until after the whole scandal.
I didn't see that movie.
Billy
It's
did
terrible,
say
don't bother.
he did say that he has evidence that absolutely substantiates his authenticity. Has he come out with anything, or is he ran? I mean, did he just say that and not present anything?
He just said it, didn't present it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about.
But he has a new flavor of hot sauce out if anybody's interested. I don't know, I'm just assuming that's
There you go.
Fuck,
Good job.
I was getting close too.
I don't remember how I typically fight that guy.
I
Charge beam. Charge beam is how I always beat him.
Yeah, I
Probably
usually use the
Ridley.
charge plasma, right?
Yeah.
Now go see the Metroid. Did you go see Little Baby yet? No. You gotta
You
make
are-
sure she's.
You are the Metroid.
Oh damn it! I keep forgetting that. You can drop. Oh, there you go. That's it. Welcome to America.
ah,
Rene, I mean, ooh, you can go on up.
Yeah, if you're good.
Can you not use the space jump, Rene? Is that too hard for you?
I'm stuck
You can
there.
tell Rene's maybe played this game for a few hours.
You know, I've never played this game start to finish in one sitting like Renee's doing.
What the hell? I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I haven't either. God, when I was a kid, this was the most long, enduring, epic game.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, you're most used to games that you could beat in a single sitting, like hour or two, right?
Yeah.
The games were long enough that you could play them up to the point where your parents got mad at you and would yell at you to get off the TV.
Scott used to come over, and I don't know, I grew up in an ethnic family,
Fuck.
so although I was born in America, my family was very Eastern European. and they did this thing where even though they had a nice living room, my grandparents put the TV in like a screened-in porch that was like very haphazardly converted into a TV room, they called it. So Scott would come over and we were like 10 years old and we'd be playing stuff like this all night long, freezing our asses off. And of course, because our grandparents only had those space heaters that would like glow red that you couldn't go near them or you'd burn yourself. I'm pretty sure they recalled all those actually. But yeah, that was us just sitting up all night trying not to make too much noise. Except Scott's not very graceful, so every time he went up the stairs to go pee, the whole fucking house.
Fuck! I gotta do it again.
So did you and your cousin Scott beat it a lot at your grandma's?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
I think unintentionally skipped a save point and I fucking died. I gotta do that mini boss again.
I don't think this is happening, Rene.
It will.
I don't know.
I've never had a difficult time at this part.
It's so remarkable the things that we never cared about before. I mean, when I was up till I was in my 20s, I didn't give a shit about anything but composite and this video. Now I look at it and I'm like, I can't do it.
I very distinctly remember going into an electronics boutique and just some random nice guy behind the counter. He was probably 21, but I was 10, so he was a guy to me. And he was like, I was just staring at Sonic the Hedgehog. And he was like, yeah, it looks awesome on that, right? You've got to play it on an RGB monitor. And I remember going home, and there obviously wasn't Google back then because I'm a fucking old man, but I did my best to look it up and see what I could find. And it was unfathomably expensive. Even converters to old monitors. I mean, it was a couple of $100 minimum, even if I just found like an old Commodore monitor. So I just gave up on it. So I'd actually seen it as a kid, it just was too expensive.
Yeah, I never saw any of that as a child. I just, I think really what started to spoil people were the sort of the graphical clarity of emulation. And then when they would go back to the real hardware, it's like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I think that had a certain influence on people's perception of high fidelity in terms of video.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, I mean, I was running my Genesis through RF, through a VCR, and then into my TV.
And you never thought two things about it, did you? Like,
yeah.
I didn't either. And that's, the whole sort of, I don't know, where is the genesis of the whole one chip? When did that start happening? When did that come around? And then when did people become wise to the one chip?
Somebody said something on a forum, and then everyone followed suit and decided that they had to have it.
There you go, Bob.
Thanks, Nick. Just completely took 2 years of research of my life and flushed that down the toilet. Why don't you go shave your beard again, you douche?
Now, Bob, really, what turned you on to the, where did you first hear about this one chip, and what sort of got you on the one chipping path?
I stumbled across a forum post right when I was starting to do the Google Doc that turned into the website, and I called a friend of mine who was a person who can get things, just one of these really random guys that can just get whatever, and I was like,
drug dealer?
Yeah, mushrooms,
no,
PCP.
But, never drugs actually, but I just said, look, can you get like a bunch of Super Nintendos? And he's like, I got 4 of them right here. Okay, that is definitely not what I thought you were going to say. And I brought him home. I was actually supposed to take my wife out to brunch, and I detoured to this guy's house, which she was not happy about. And when I got him home, I tested all of them, or I opened them all, and one of them, the last one, number 4 that I opened, turned out to be a one chip. And I called Scott over, and we started doing testing, and we were both like, holy shit, there is a difference.
So when you did that, well, having said that, has the divorce been finalized?
But yeah, that's pretty much what started it. Then I started doing the research between each of the different one chip, 1, 2, and 3. And then Zach, actually, it was you that you were on live stream with me when we kind of proved out that there really isn't a difference between 1, 2, and 3. And if there is, it's just that individual console.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, it's true.
That's how I always felt it was.
I mean, it's on a per console basis, and by the time you bypass, and you know what else is interesting? That encoder is funky too. That encoder changes and has sort of like none of those ROM sRGB encoders are the same, in my opinion. They all, even if you do sort of like a bit of analysis on them, they all have their little idiosyncrasies and quirks. Some of them have totally different gain settings too, which I think is remarkable.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex, Arcade TV, he actually he found a random mini that the brightness was way off, and he had to, I think he measured with the scope and found a different resistance value for his. But
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, yeah, I hate the one chip. It's caused me nothing but trouble. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. Didn't Ikari create a sort of a piece of code for the SD to SNES that automatically patches out the way that the one chip ASIC handles the DAC write, or the writes to
basically lowering the brightness or something, so you can take a stock one chip and play it closer to the correct brightness accuracy.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. No, not just that, but I'm talking about the way a particular register is exercised in the SNES one chip. It's the way they implemented this hardware register on the mask that causes that black line that slowly gets better. You know, in some games that utilize this particular routine. I think he wrote a little piece of software for the SD to SNES that will look in those memory addresses and to see if they're being exercised in a way that fucks up that top line, and it'll patch it out so that you don't have that problem with the one chip anymore if you do the capacitor fix.
Yeah, I gotta get him on. I can't remember if I emailed him and he said no, like so many other people, or if he, or if I just never emailed him. But I'll check my list, and I'd love to get him on the podcast and kind of pick his brain.
So sorry to butt in here, but I never pass up on a chance to sell my own products. I mean, God,
With a closed store.
I can't just have one yacht.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So Adam Wells asked, he owns a Sony branded component cable for PS3. Should he get an HD Retrovision one? Well, like as I said, one yacht is not enough. So yes.
Oh, that sucks, Rene.
Yeah.
You tell him to buy 3 of them.
Yeah, you need as many.
You gotta rotate them out, like kind of like tires.
Right. Yeah,
Big tires. Yeah, you got to keep the wear even across all 4 of them.
yeah. This is like the most common question we get since releasing that product by far. Steve typed up a pretty good full response to this, but I guess, I mean, looking at scope plots, the rundown is that for 1080p, there's a noticeable difference, possibly, but that's looking at scope plots and maybe not on whatever display device.
I would say you can see a difference on the scope on everything.
Sure, but as far
But
as
A meaningful difference.
But yeah, you were referencing the scope. On the scope, you can see differences, but the differences don't manifest themselves visually until
Would the
until the
1080
HD.
would the 1080p always manifest themselves though, or is that going to be maybe display size, display like where you're sitting?
A lot of ghosting on what I saw. I have only
Using this
tested.
the official.
There is ghosting on everything. It's just the lowest amount of ghosting is with our cables.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you should totally buy those cables and then do a comparison video at 1080p so that we can steal it and put it on our website without.
So the thing that Nick referenced was 480i, 240p to be perfect with what you have. 480p, it's gonna be perfect with what you have. Maybe 720p 1080i. So 720p is only PS3. 1080i you could do with Gran Turismo 4. You might see something, maybe if you smack your head up to the screen, which is stupid. And then 1080p is the only thing that really probably matters. That's basically what the gist was, right?
I knew it wasn't on the way to me. You liar.
Dude, I have like a fucking 1,000 of these. What do you mean it's not on the way to you? You cunt. It is on the way to you. Oh, there's a VGA. Oh, that's what you were talking about earlier, Bob. There's a VGA datapath card.
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
VGA only one is called the Vision RGB, and that comes in single or dual inputs. I got the dual input one, and I definitely couldn't get that working on Windows 10 last year. Maybe I should try again. And I think it still had weird issues on 7, but it worked because it's an older card. But yeah.
Can it sync down to 15 kilohertz horizontal?
Definitely, yes.
Oh wow, no kidding.
Yeah, that was another Jose find, because when I was looking for one, there was like 5 or 6 of them on eBay for $20, $30 or something like that. I was like,
Okay.
oh, hell yeah, I'll pick one up.
Ah!
Charged plasma shots.
You know, it's interesting, Bob. This will actually work backwards. This will work with the Vision VGA. It's pretty funny.
All you need is the DVI to VGA cable, right?
Well, I mean, you could go.
Don't the charged plasma shots make them come out of their little?
You could
shell
go.
thing?
Yeah, you could do DVI, VGA to DVI, or you could just go VGA out into the VGA input of that card, and then you can. I don't think it supports component, but I'm sure it'll support shard.
I don't think it supports component, no.
But I mean, all SCART would be on this is the horizontal input on the VGA connector. That's what composite sync will go to. So, you know, SHART would work fine if it can do 15 kilohertz.
Oh, fuck.
I just did a quick eBay search and I didn't see any of them on there, but maybe I was searching for the wrong thing. The cheaper ones, I mean.
I have a bunch of these. This is the one I took. I want to put this one in a workstation. This is the E1 that you sent me. That I reworked the Cyclone on.
That's the first broken one that I sent you. That you
Yeah, yeah. So to clarify, I never really explained this to you, but what I did was, say, surface mount ball grid array package here, the Cyclone 2. I simply took it off, reballed it, and reworked this back onto the board. No problems.
So, can you explain what you mean by reballing? Because I think that person I paid a lot of money to reball my PS3 didn't actually reball it.
So what happens is, in a lot of sort of modern, when I say modern, I'm going back 12 or 13 years, electronics, in order to mitigate certain sorts of cancers and other sort of things that are toxic to the human body, we've really gotten away from leaded solder. And we've moved to lead-free solder. And so a lot of these electronics, like this card and like your PlayStation 3 and like your 360, the solder just doesn't hold up as well because there's the melting point temperatures are entirely different. They can't withstand lead-free typically can't, or the lead-free that was used on a lot of these electronics can't withstand those long heat cycles. The solder cracks. It becomes brittle in places, and you develop a lot of opens in your circuit. What I do is I work those parts off, I remove the lead-free solder, and I introduce leaded solder that has a much higher melting temperature, which means that these parts can get very hot in operation, and the solder will not be affected, it will not melt, it will not break down.
So when you say remove, is it basically just a very complicated way of, like, using desolder braided flux? Obviously, you know.
Sure. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all you're doing. You're wicking up a lot of that old or all of that old lead-free solder because you don't want to dilute and mix chemistries, anyways, for stuff like that. So you've got to remove it all so you can apply the new tin or the new leaded chemistry that you're going to use.
How do you, so you clean up both sides, the board side and the side, how do you affix that back to the board?
Well, it's kind of a trick. A lot of people professionally use an optic system that you put the board into this tray that you're working on, and there's a camera that sort of mounts over, and it helps you line up that package to the footprint on the board because when you put this part sort of in its area, you can't see under this chip to make sure that your balls are matching the landings on the board. You're blind to that. So you have to use these reference designators. You can see this outline around that will tell you precisely how to line this up. And you really have to go by the designators on the board to do proper alignment if you're doing it with your two ball sacks, your eyeballs.
So when you're reballing and you get it to the right temperature, is that when you start teabagging?
I like to do a slow ramp up to, first of all, I try to heat this part to about 110 to 120 degrees Celsius, just to kind of prep it. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll typically use air at about 6-7 inches. I'll ramp that up to about 115 degrees, and I'll flow this really well. Once I get this sort of preheated, I'll apply the new part. I'll set it into position, and then I will slowly ramp that up for just a few minutes, up to around 275 to maybe close to 300 degrees, so I can get an even, thorough bake of that part if I'm doing it by hand. A lot of people frown against that, but if you know what you're doing and you follow all the basic cues and sort of the right procedures, you can get fantastic results just by using hot air to do that. You don't have to have an oven for small, discrete little packages like that. Now, when you get to bigger packages, you don't want to use hot air rework station for that. You really have to have a controlled temperature environment.
So
All I heard was 7 inches, and
small packages.
larger packages. That's all I heard from that.
you're all a bunch
So-
of nine-year-olds.
So
I
you
have
just
2 questions. I just don't.
Well, hold on. I want to finish this because we're talking about it. So you work this package off. You clean the solder off the package and off the board. Then you apply solder back to the part, and you quickly amend the solder to the part. You put the part back on the board, and then you work the part back on. You're not doing a whole board reflow, so you don't have to use an oven. You're doing one specific part.
And so 2 things. First of all, that sounds like an amazing solder porn video. You should definitely do one on that capture card. But also, so for something smaller like that, somebody with the skill set to do so can just do it with exactly as you just described. But with something like a PS3 and a PS4 ball, something that needs an actual reballing.
Absolutely, those are huge die chips that you're working with. That FR4 or the PS3 main board is very thick, has a lot of ground flood in those interconnecting layers, so it's going to soak up heat like a motherfucker. And you will warp the shit of that board more than likely, trying to jam heat into it, trying to work that big package. The bigger the mass, the more heat and energy you have to apply.
Off your lap, or else no one's gonna take what you're saying seriously. You're talking about a big package and fondling that thing. Please put that down and then continue.
The more
Do you free ball while you're reballing a big package?
Possibly. It depends if C's here or not. But the point is, the more mass a side has that you're working with, the more energy you need. And you really need an even heating field to work on those things. And you can't use a hot air rework station to take off a 95 nanometer chip that's this big. You can't do it.
So honestly,
Proper.
like when you saw that, and I know sometimes you bust my balls, and I think it's just as funny as you do, but when you saw my PS3 motherboard, were you serious that was definitely never been reballed?
There was no evidence to suggest that board was ever reballed. The only evidence that I saw of anything was a reflow. And there are certain things that you look for. The problem with a lot of these yellow light of death online repair services is they use the word reball when they really should just be using the word reflow.
Yeah, but this guy has done so many of these. For years, he was supposedly the go-to guy, and the whole thing was that he supposedly had a reball station and was the specialist for this.
You know what? A lot of people, I'm sure, have that equipment, but a lot of people probably don't want to have to exercise that equipment because of the huge time sink and the great effort it is. It's much more difficult to reball an apparatus than it is to pick up a shitty 858D and just run some hot air over it for about 5 minutes, and then it's fixed.
But
We're done.
supposedly he swapped the video chip too, which one of the bad one is one of the things I sent you in one of the kickback packages. But can you replace the graphics chip by reflowing and without actually using a reball machine?
That's really stupid because whenever you reflow and whenever you work a package off of the board, you've totally compromised the integrity of all of the solder that married the part to the board. So unless you reball and apply new solder to the part you're working back on, it's just not going to work correctly because you're not replacing the substrate between the two. That's like asking someone to put to take tile out of somebody's kitchen and to put new tile directly on top of it without putting in new grouts and new tile jizz. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It completely. It also depresses me because after shipping and then after shipping back again because it didn't do it right the first time, it ended up being just about $300 a console. One didn't work and I sent it to you, and then the other one now I have, but now I'm afraid to use.
Well, actually, I'll be honest with you. That system that you sent me, sometimes I bring it over here and I beat the shit out of it. I mean, I looked at it out here. It's right here. It's right here. And yeah, this thing is I don't know. I don't want to be disparaging to the guy, but you got fucked by reballing genius.
This guy, that's a lot of money.
You got fucked. Well, let's just full disclosure here. Reballing genius. He sent it back to you once. He said it was fully tested and working. You got it. It didn't work. You sent it back to him.
Was leave it on overnight and then power cycle it and see if it works again.
Do you know what that's supposed to do? He's hoping that it reaches temperature. So his shitty reflow, it'll hopefully melt some of those residual balls that didn't quite make it on the first run.
Yeah, that's exactly what, as soon as he said that,
telling
I was like, wow.
you to reflow it with internal heat.
Yeah, did he mention a towel? Wrapping this in a towel too?
I was just about to say I wouldn't be surprised if he told me to wrap it in a blanket, but
his response to the problem, Bob, is enough to at least merit the idea or the thinking that he's full of shit.
Oh, that was close.
just went off, Zach. No, you're muted. There you go. No.
Good job, man.
Ah, I was so damn close to.
That was freaking me out.
Yeah, Rene, that was very close.
Isn't there an energy tank here? Yeah, there we
Zach broke his headset and can't hear us.
go. So this is the part in the game where you're supposed to realize, oh no, the Metroid's escaped.
Thanks for ruining it, dude.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened. But
so what do you suggest I do with the one that is at least currently working? That's probably just been.
you pay $300 for it. Why do you care? I mean, you've already.
Patreon giveaway.
Yeah, Patreon. Yeah, that's it.
Do I just use it and then whenever it dies, just find somebody who actually has a reballing machine?
That equipment can often be very expensive. I actually have to service a lot of my equipment in the garage that I do that with before I want to use it again. You need to find somebody who does that. Maybe that Louis Rossman guy might help you out. He seems to be pretty good about that stuff.
Is that the guy? That's not the New York guy, right?
I think he's the New York guy. I mean, I've seen some of his Apple repair stuff. He seems to. I think he knows what he's doing. Don't ask me to do it because I'm not doing that shit anymore.
Well, you don't have a revolve station, right?
Yeah, I do have I have all of that equipment. It's just I need to service it. It's all. I just said that to you.
Oh, that's what you meant. All right.
Gotcha.
You have it in your garage. You're just doing that. I deserve that.
Jesus Christ. Because I was going to do a friend of mine up in Canada, but he decided to ban me from his life, so I have no reason to do it now. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, that's the problem with a lot of those Xbox Red Ring of Death and Yellow Light of Death repair is you're being scammed. Like both of these data path cards that you sent me, I reworked them properly and they work perfect now. But that didn't require elaborate. That required that's a BGA 50, a BGA 50 stencil, I think. No, not for that. I think that was a 20. Anyways, it required just a stencil for that particular package. And I have a whole jar of different sizes and millimeters of solder balls. So you just put the little stencil over the Cyclone 2, you shake the balls out, and you get it lined up, and then you just kind of jam some hot air on there just so that the balls will adhere to the package, and that's it. That's done. All you got to do now is seat that package back onto the board and properly work it back in, and you're off to the races. But that's not what people do when they say they reball. In my experience, 80% of the time when they say that, they're taking hot air and they're just reflowing.
They're reworking bald packages.
Right, they're reworking the bald packages.
Yeah, well, that's depressing.
I'm sorry that you paid $600 for nothing.
Well, you don't have to apologize. You weren't the one that fucking ripped me off.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but you're supposed to kill the messenger, Bob.
Right,
Oh,
don't
that's
you know,
right.
Well,
have you heard anything about liberalism yet? I mean,
Well, technically, then fuck you, Steve.
Oh yeah.
No!
This way.
but if it works, Bob, I would honestly suggest you use it because the fact of the matter is you can buy broken YLOD A01 hardware compatible PS3s for $25 or $30 on eBay all day long.
I get these for $5 each.
Exactly. So if you want to, you can always go buy another one to have it reworked properly. But my solution is my prevention for that, ventilation. Ventilation and forced air if you can. The more air you can move through the system, the cooler it's going to run.
Lubricant?
I seem to have forgotten something here.
You know what I thought about doing? I thought about taking one of my hardware backward compatible systems and modifying it so it fits in a PC case. I thought that would be kind of fun.
What am I forgetting here?
Your ball sack.
Yeah, there's something. I think one of these you could drop down. Yeah, there you go.
No, but that's where I went to go fight. That's where Crate is.
I think I want to buy a PS4
No.
Pro.
Don't you just need to go to the end now?
Yeah.
He's never played this game, has he?
No.
I do, but I have a huge memory blank now.
You just got to go up. You've beaten him, right?
I know I gotta go up, but I gotta get out of Norfair.
Right, so go up, and then you go to the right. And then you go up, yep, go to
Yeah,
the
but
right.
that's what he did, and he was at that room that you have to go to from the other side.
Yeah.
Is there something? Can you go?
Wait a minute, no, he's going the right way.
Okay.
No,
Oh, maybe he's not going the right way. You go to left. I'm sorry, you're not where I thought you were. Yeah, you got to go all the way left, it looks like.
So do you down and left then? Or?
Back into the left.
Yeah, back into the left because he's got to make it
Back
to the elevator
Into
shaft.
the left.
Have you ever had a shaft in you? I have.
You know, man. Sometimes you feel like a burrito. Sometimes you feel like a taco. It's all that's on the menu.
You just gotta make it back to the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to buy. Does anyone? I don't think Steve and Nick do. Probably Rene. You might, Bob. Do you have any thoughts on the PS4? Like, there's some games I really want.
I have a PS4.
I really
I have
want
a
to try the
PS4.
PSVR thing, and somebody just sent me a bunch of really cool PS4 games I'm really looking forward to trying.
Would you recommend me buying a regular PlayStation 4 or a PS4? Pro. PS4 Pro.
Definitely the Pro, and you got to get one of the TVs I've been telling you about.
One of the
I never
TCLs?
sent you the lag test info, did I?
Oh, did you do the TCL test on Sunday that you said you were going to do?
No, it's
No,
clearly
no.
not here. What
I know
the?
you weren't going to do that. Hey, anyone that's in our participating in this, I'd like to see some lag tests for the new 2018 TCL model. That's like $900. From the reviews, it's fucking amazing, but I want to be sure about the input lag stuff. I think I'm going to buy one.
Well, my cousin Nick, the one that had a Jaguar with me when we were kids, he was the one that got the 2018 version, but he got the 50-inch that was like $300 or something.
Okay.
So it's not as good as the one you're looking at, but I'll still at least go over and test it.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate that because I'm tired of your. Do you think that disable? You know, you have to install the Roku software to get into some of the advanced options.
Yes.
Do you think that if you disable the edge enhancement on this latest model, that will also give you a response time boost?
I'm definitely going to be testing that because my friend Fontaine, I think she's been in a video or two, but I was over her place and I tested her 65-inch 2007 TV, and game mode made almost no difference at all. There was like four or five frames of lag or something, and then as soon as I turned off that extra thing from the Roku app, it was down to about a frame of lag.
Someone said they go through the lava, so I'm just gonna try to bolt it. I just saved anyways. So.
Yeah, Rene. Next time you pick a game, maybe pick a game that you've actually beaten before, that you're familiar with.
Hey, we all remember that Nick didn't beat his game.
It's true.
Oh yeah, I forgot, Nick. What a loser.
Fuck.
Rene, where are you going?
Don't use low standards as reference, man.
There we go.
Yeah, the edge enhancement stuff, because I think the official Arting's input lag test for the 2018 TCL was around 18 milliseconds, maybe 19 milliseconds. I want that number to be around 15. I want it to be a sub-frame. I have to have sub-frame.
So I would like to buy one of the lag test things. I know Art has one. I like to use Super Nintendo and a high-speed camera because at the same time I get to test rectal vision compatibility for TVs that actually have component inputs. I get to test SNES compatibility for the open source scan converter, and I get to test lag. And it's actually less accurate. I think I could. I was talking to Artemio about this. We think we can get down to a half a frame. So, you know, it's not as accurate as the millisecond test, but it's going to be pretty close. And I think within half a frame of lag is a pretty good tolerance test.
Zach, you should come with me and Bob when we go up to Montreal this year.
What do you got? Why? What's so fun about that?
We're gonna go visit Arting's, man.
Oh, you guys are going to go to the plant or to their factory or whatever?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Nick knows the guy, right?
Yeah, I've talked to one of their guys before. Gave an invite, and I'm sure.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'll have to get a passport.
Like I used to.
I'll get a passport again. I haven't ever since the first ban from Canada.
That poor moose.
It's not been easy for me to get back into the country. Let me tell you. Oh, mama. But
the worst for the moose.
That moose was a good fuck, so it was worth it.
So terrible.
I'm just gonna get out, go to the end.
By moose, I'm talking about somebody's wife. No one in this chat.
Back to the PS4 Pro thing. I think Joe Redifer might have some strong opinions on that.
Well, I did see the thing that he said where, like, okay, the PS4 great, but shit looks blurrier, yet it runs faster because, or something. You know, remember the screenshots he showed? Like,
yeah.
I didn't understand it though.
I don't know. You should talk to him though. See.
I'll call him later.
I would go. Digital Foundry has any videos on that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I need to call him. I'll call him later tonight when I'm.
It is rare that a lot of things impress me, and I'm always very appreciative to find cool shit. But it is rare that I'm as impressed as I was the first time I saw John Linneman do a side-by-side comparison the way he did.
Of PS4 and PS4 Pro.
I mean, even the Daytona USA one was actually the one I was just thinking of, but just the way he puts things side by side and has the exact frame rate, zooms in all the details. I mean, that's exactly what my OC wants in one of those videos.
He's the best. He is literally the best at what he does.
I couldn't agree more.
There is nobody that
blows me out of the water.
Anywhere that remotely pales in comparison to him. He's amazing. He is arguably probably one of the most important figures in retro gaming.
Second most important.
Oh, there is another one.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for this guy, we wouldn't have what's coming. Jesus Christ, how pretentious.
You
But
ever
no.
come to New York, Zach?
You know, Bob, I'd really rather spare myself of the stench.
Sometimes it doesn't smell nice. You're not lying
You
about
know,
that.
The wife, she's going to be coming back, actually, I think pretty soon. She's going to have another trip. She loved it. She certainly wouldn't want to live there, but she loved the 4-day visit. No, those are her
Where in
words.
New York was she?
I don't know. Wherever it's really expensive.
So
Well,
all
it's
of it.
expensive everywhere, but Manhattan's more expensive.
I'm not exactly sure where she stayed. I'd have to ask her.
If Bob lived in Brooklyn, I'd come visit.
Go to Brooklyn Video Games and skip visiting me then.
Yeah.
They have. I always go to Brooklyn Video Games to not buy my video games just because they're not local. If they were local, I would definitely go down there.
Yeah, I'll have Steve open up a Kentucky annex just for you.
But so I think I'm going to buy a PS4. I was thinking about this. The Halo Infinity kind of looks good, but there aren't a lot of Xbox exclusives anymore that want me to
Ori.
jump on the Xbox bandwagon.
Ori, definitely. Ori and the Blind Forest was my favorite game of the past at least year.
For the Xbox?
Yeah.
No, not
And
that.
the sequel's coming out this summer, and the guy who did another Metroid 2 remake is doing the soundtrack.
So, but you
That's
don't
on
have,
that's on the X-Bone.
Yep.
The X-Bone X?
Yeah, X-Bone.
Well, other than Uncharted, what does Sony have as far as an exclusive?
A lot.
God of War?
Yeah, that's
Last
true.
of Us exclusive?
Is that
I don't know.
Metal Gear Solid? The Metal Gear franchise certainly isn't anymore.
You know what I
Okay.
actually think I want to try to do is use that Parsec software, their cloud streaming one, to play the Ori sequel.
No, I've been
I
there.
want to see how that works.
Yeah, you can do that, Bob, and I can laugh at you.
Well, I don't know, man. I did the demo and it worked pretty fucking good, so we'll see.
I kind of miss the fact that this only applies to the 2142 Poop Squad. I kind of miss the fact that we do not play games anymore.
Yeah, it was fun when we were actually playing games.
I mean, we were having a good time there for a couple months.
Yeah, but then they got rid of Battlefield.
I think you need partners who don't suck.
What? I didn't understand what that meant.
Oop. Shit.
But no, I mean, yeah, we were playing, for those who don't know, we were playing Battlefield 2142 because somebody came back out with, they sort of reconstituted dedicated servers. We played that. Oh my god. We burned
So
that
much
shit
fun.
up.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because we were all three of us are pretty big fans of that franchise. And then they took it away from us.
Well, I'm not big fans of the franchise. I'm a big fan of 2142. Let's
You're-
get that straight.
You don't like, you didn't like, 1942?
I
Or
never played
Vietnam?
that one. But what came out after 2142?
Bad Company 2?
Yeah, I don't like that. Wasn't a fan.
It was more console-y.
Well, that makes sense because it was a continuation of Bad Company.
Yeah.
Right? Which would have been awesome if it came out on PC. I love Bad Company 2. Fucking amazing maps. Great game. Shitty that you couldn't prone, but whatever.
I'm starting to get a little anxious to see if Rene can make it for the best ending.
It's turned into a speedrun into the please let me beat it run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please. It's turned into a speedrun to a please God, I've embarrassed myself enough tonight.
Yeah. Just let it be over.
I was up at
I-
6:30 this morning when I started moving, and if you told me I'd be on a live podcast at 10:45, I'd have laughed at you. But now I'm in it for the win. I get to see you lead it.
I'm surprised that people are still awake and they didn't shut this crap off yet.
Oh, well, let me ask you
Oh
this:
my
if you guys
God.
have any opinions, the Xbox, the X-Bone versus the X-Bone X Scorpion, whatever the fuck it's called. Is that worth purchasing? Over
Yeah,
the
once again, definitely go to the Digital Foundry videos for why.
okay.
And the other thing that I was impressed at is just regular Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One or the One X Scorpio. They look really great. So if you wanted to go back and play any of the older libraries, it's absolutely better than the original.
Does the have they restored the Xbox Live functionality of those games? You know what I mean? So if you
Good
if you
question.
wanted to play Modern Warfare 2 for the 360 on your Xbone, excuse me, could you?
It's a good question. I have no idea.
Whoa. Local time for twin stick gamers is 4:45 a.m. So he's begging you to just beat it already.
It's like, please, just beat it already. I don't know where you're going.
I'm just grabbing a few more items before I go to.
God, how many fucking things do you need to fight Mother Brain?
Like, nothing?
Well, he does have to penetrate her glass, and he does have to get through the Zebatite.
I at least
You
wanted
just
this
need-
energy tanks.
You just need regular missiles for that, don't you?
Yeah.
You do, but does he have enough is the question. To
Well,
get through all the
he-
Zebatite.
There's
And-
above this is a restock station.
I hear a GS6R 600.
Me too. Was that through me or one of you guys?
I think it's from here. I have the window open now because it's like blazing hot in here right now.
So,
super sweaty.
the girl geek asked, who's going to suck at video games the next time we do this?
It might be me. I'm trying to perfect my streaming setup for the couch, and Bob's got me going with some stuff I'm going to pair with my. I'm going to use the data path, and I'm going to split. The OSCC output is going to be split to my television and to the data path.
Ah, fuck off.
I hate those bikes. They're stupid.
There we go.
I mean, I don't know. The Xbox One X looks great, but let's be honest, I'm only really buying that for Halo. Unless it comes out to PC, which I think Halo, that new Halo might be
I
coming to
thought
PC.
they said that it wasn't. Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't cast that. Target out of range.
When I hear I
I'm
don't
the
know,
target.
I think
I
of.
think of Simpsons.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Burns. What's your first name? This is a recharge, I think. Weapons recharge? No, it's a save station. Damn it.
Oh, Ori is on PC. Okay.
The weapons recharge is underneath this.
Underneath this?
Yeah, it's underneath,
Underneath
the save point. I'm delayed.
Oh, yes.
The Girl Geek asks, how long until the ultimate board for the data pad? Well, to be honest with you, that was shipped to Bob 3 days ago. So once Bob takes a look at it and he lets the boys play with it,
I have it
That's
for
gonna
about
be
a day, and then that's going straight to Brooklyn.
There we go.
it's going to
I-
Brooklyn.
Technically Queens.
But it doesn't do your super
With a
missiles.
stop in Brooklyn.
It's going to do a stop in Brooklyn. This will be available. This is I built. I do these by hand, via hand job. So yeah, just to let
I
everyone see that.
can't remember if I've asked you this before, but do you have any plans on a future version of this to do an HDMI pass-through?
I was thinking about making this. That's what's I've been kind of been held up on. Do I put an HDMI? Do I stretch this board out and route an HDMI port on here? What do you think? Is it worth it at this point, you sick fuck?
I think so. Because I think
At
now
least
somebody
6
grabbed this
people will be
sitting on-
interested.
Yes. Thank you.
So, Arturo, Ben Fung, let's see. Let's think of the other 2 people who'd actually use that.
You'd be surprised.
Bob.
I mean, you got a lot just in this crew alone.
Yeah, like Bob and his friends. Okay, Bob. You got it, Bob.
Look, I think if I really just wanted you to design a product for me, I would have sent you like a Nintendo and told you to read.
You've already done that.
I know.
I've already done that like 5 times over. What the fuck are you talking about?
Still have that Play Choice 10 one.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that one in the trash.
No super missiles at all.
I
What
like
a
that.
bunch of jerks.
I'll trade it to you for your AV or your dual Famicom, twin Famicom.
But yeah, I mean,
So
listen,
this is the point of no return.
Oop, here we go.
you better not fuck this up again. I'm calling Dracula tonight if you do.
I always loved waiting. Obviously, after the first time I beat it, I loved waiting for this point so you get to see all of them at the same time.
Yes.
I always
Rene.
hated the. I always hated the fact that once the stone sort of dissolves, the floor, you can't come out. Like you're stuck.
No, once you go in there, that's it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can't come out.
What do you mean?
Well, see, the floor is about to open, or when you go down here and you go down below, you can never come back out.
There's that new IPS patch that was just released so that you can actually come out of Turian.
Yeah, once you go in Torian, you're forever indebted there.
Yeah.
You mean like go down here and then the thing is blocking you now?
You can't
You
go
come
back up.
Oh, the
Yeah.
elevator doesn't take you back up, or the thing is blocked?
No, you can't. The thing is blocked.
Okay, so that floor that dissolved reappears.
Yes. So when you
Yes.
use
Okay.
this save point, you're stuck in Turian in this save file.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I never tried to go back out, so I was just curious what you meant. Because I know if you changed your mind at that instance before you went down, you can leave.
Correct.
But okay.
Oh, fuck.
We're not all as fortunate, though, Steve, to be able to do that. Oh, fuck. It's a Samus Aran.
Don't waste your super missiles.
You have to.
Yeah, and
Why?
can't you re-up anyway?
No, you just use regular missiles, bro.
5 of them.
Yeah, 5 regular missiles.
It's obvious, Rene, Steve. He's really not very well versed in this game.
No.
Yeah, but when you shoot them, don't they usually give you 2 super missiles back anyway?
Yeah, most of them have.
Yeah, but then he would have more stock for later.
That's a good point. He's going to need him against when he fights Metroid up here when she transforms.
Wait, you're Metroid though. Is it
Oh,
like a
wait.
mirror
The
battle?
last boss is also Metroid, isn't it?
No, wait a minute. No, the last boss is the thing in the tube. I think they call that SR-388. If I remember correctly. It's the code name for the Galactic Federation thing. They made it, you see.
You know, the last band I was in, we wrote like 15 songs before we even come close to coming up with a band name, and we were finally like, all right, well, what's your favorite stuff? And I just started listing Metroid name. Was like, what about SR-388? Everyone was like, no, that's so dumb.
It's not any more dumb than that stupid SR-71 band. Remember that?
No.
Why do you always kick me when I'm high? Horrible band. Yeah, it hurts me to even sing that.
It's me to listen to you
I
sing.
was just thinking that.
Well, imagine how I feel every time it comes on the radio.
And you can't help but sing along.
It's one of those things. It's like a Peter Cetera song. Once you get it, you know?
Now
We're at
it's
2 hours and 53 minutes.
cinematic.
Oh.
Did anyone here buy a super... serious question. Did anyone here buy a Super NT?
I bought 2 of them. And then emailed Chris Tabor about it and said, hey man, I pre-ordered 2 of these, looking forward to it. Let me know when you have them, one for review. And then he sent everybody I knew one except me. So I pissed off that guy at some point. I don't know if it was when I told everybody in the review that I thought that he should have made different choices with the analog NT Mini and not made it a rich man's product, but either way, I got cut the fuck out.
Bob, I think it's because you just don't have the fan base or the install base on YouTube necessarily.
I'm still a nobody on YouTube, but my site has millions of hits, so you're technically correct there. I just thought you would have had a little more foresight than that.
I gotta take a piss before I go for
Maybe what you're really wanting was for him to have a little more foreskin than that.
I was waiting for you to say that.
I don't know. I think that's interesting though that you like. I know some people who got like half a dozen units, like 5 or 6. Like
Yeah.
why? Why would you send so many units like
You
that?
need all the colors.
Well, more importantly, why would you send that to somebody who didn't pay, and not send somebody who paid for 2?
Because he already got you in the bag. He doesn't
There you
need.
go.
He knows you'll pay, so whatever.
It doesn't matter. You fucked up. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
bought any.
Yeah, dumbass.
I like it. I use it. I want it.
What do you think about it, Bob? Seriously, do you can the Super NT replace a bare metal Super Nintendo for you?
It's all I use on my flat screen now. Period.
So you would
Big
choose that over a
wildly
one chip?
For on my 4K OLED, yes, definitely. Bold words coming from me, because I am freaking, I am Firebrand X anal when it comes to Super Nintendo. Like if I start to see things that I know could be better, it drives me nuts. I don't want to watch it. So yeah, that's in the Super NT is perfect for me. Of course, I use Firebrand X's recommended settings while playing, but whatever.
How is the damn? How much are they?
It's like well, they're 189, but they're really 230.
It's a fine thing, but I think anything over $200 for that, I'm sorry, I think that's just too much.
You love Super Nintendo, especially if you don't own a Super Nintendo now. Like, and you want to get back into this? Are you really gonna buy an OSSC, find a one chip or get a mini, have somebody?
I understand.
I
understand, but I mean, at that point, would you be competing with the OSSC, or would you be competing with emulation-based products and clone consoles? I think $150 would be more conducive. That's just me. I could be totally off base with that. What do you think?
I got in the elevator the other day and there was somebody wearing like a Nintendo controller T-shirt. And I was just like, "Hey, nice shirt, man. Like, thanks." And a little awkwardness. I was just like, I run a retro gaming website, so stuff gets home. And the guy with it was like, we were just playing Donkey Kong Country 2 and losing really badly. And I said, well, are you playing it on a flat screen? He said, yeah. And I started talking about lag and everything. And it was a long elevator ride, but I still only had like 20 seconds.
Longer for him than you.
Blew both their minds.
Well done.
To answer your question, I have literally no interest in that product. Like, it's super cool from a technical and engineering perspective. I don't care about it as something that I would play on, because I don't know. It's a weird thing that I have where I want to play on the original hardware.
But don't you have an AVS though, don't you, Nick?
I do, but I mean that's, I guess, probably an exception in my setup.
Okay.
An NES would be a pain in the ass to have, I guess, and I'm not going to go through the.
Well, let me tell you, Bob sent me something in one of those bullshit kickback boxes that I've actually enjoyed and love, and I'm so happy I have it because I have it tuned up just the way that I want it. It's a European, get it, European, one-chip SNES that does all the PAL and NTSC video modes. And I love that thing, and it looks you guys should see this thing. It looks so mint. You should have seen it when I first got it, and you should see it now. But at any rate, I don't think I'm going to give that up for a Super NT.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, because obviously I'm a much bigger Sega Genesis person than Super Nintendo person. So when Analog comes out with the Sega Genesis HDMI box next, then I'm not going to use that. I'll probably get it, but I won't use it.
You'll stay loyal to the hardware.
So, I'm near the end, and I really doubt I'm gonna fuck up now. So, are we gonna save the animals or kill the animals?
Save the animals, dude. That's what I've waited for all night.
I don't think you have ground. I don't think you have ground to stand on anymore, Rene. after this display. I don't think you can control the answer.
You certainly can't control the outcome. I think we've learned that.
Exactly. That one chip PAL console I sent you.
Uh-huh.
That was one of the few things that I had sent that was in perfect condition. You know, not cosmetically, but whatever. But the Super CIC board is one that I installed and screwed up, and Steve had to recover the board and then repair the console. I gave him the console.
The first,
I had to drill into the package plastic. You know what was funny, Bob? The wire you ran all the way around the board of the one chip IC. The trace was right next. The correct trace was right next to.
I had no idea.
On the other side.
I didn't know what that board was, and when Steve came over a couple of years ago, we came in the foyer, my house, and I picked it up off the table, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And Steve's like, "Oh, I removed that from Bob's Nintendo."
So technically speaking, that means Steve got the OG kickback. He got it before you did.
Yeah, the kickback just disseminated into pieces and is still being distributed through all the people.
But I mean, as far as the NT Mini, I thought was just incredibly expensive and not for my tastes. A convenience device, sure, but at that point, I think I would just go buy a big emulator box. I know that sounds awful, but I don't know. I really like my bare metals. I was talking to somebody, I was asking a bunch of people, what I do understand, what I do like about it, is you can get beautiful, super sharp captures from like the AVS and the Super NT Mini, obviously. I was asking a bunch of people.
It's over.
Good job. What a loser.
I absolutely can't fucking wait to see what your time is.
Probably like 5, well obviously. It's going to be 4 hours.
Bob, it shows right down the...
No, the in-game time is probably going to be like 2 hours and something.
Yeah, because he died and saved.
Oh yeah, he screwed up.
Yeah.
He's the smart one now.
And I died at places where I've barely ever died before. It's just I forgot how to beat that one Chozo statue.
Performance anxiety. Everybody's watching.
Yeah. I beat it recently, like a few months ago, but I really took my time. I took like 15 hours to beat it.
Did you not take your time tonight, or was I just misunderstanding what was happening? Maybe did I watch the same gameplay footage? I don't know. Oh, you did fine. You did fine. So much for a 45-minute stream.
Yeah.
At least I didn't do like Nick and actually beat the game. Well, not at the end yet, but you can't really fuck up from this point on.
We'll see about that, Rene. I was surprised at your trouble you had with Ridley of all people.
Ridley and Mario. You pronounce everything wrong.
You know, you had a lot of trouble with Ridley, and yeah, he's got the easiest pattern. You know what I want to see done? I don't think he'd do it, because I've been trying to shove this game down fucking Steve's throat for years. But I'd love to see Steve play Rockman minus Infinity again.
I already did.
You gotta do it again. He was so he was sweating and sloughing all over my goddamn leather couch.
It was intense, man.
He was like this the whole time, like, I can't stop sweating!
Hey, did you guys ever use the Game Genie code that gave you this gun right from the beginning of the game?
The Hyper Beam?
No.
I'm not a cheater.
It doesn't do anything.
Only cheaters cheat, Bob.
Well, no, I mean, I think one of the first times we did that was after we beat the game. Then Scott and I put that, started putting codes in just to see. And that was the first thing we did, was let's see if we can get that gun first. And we did, and it doesn't hurt anything.
The Hyper Beam?
Yeah, the
Hyper.
only thing that's better for is the ending.
Hyper uppercut. Uppercut.
What are you doing, bro?
I'd
You
like to
should've
have
Why didn't you
Steve
shine
stream-
spark all the way across and then jump up?
Yeah. He doesn't know how to play this game.
Did
He's
you
only
never played
played
it?
Yeah, you
See
never
right
played
there.
this game. Get a boost jumped up there.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think you knew that, but
I want to watch Steve play like a vertical bullet
Whoop.
hell shmup.
I want to watch Steve play Wertress. Great Super Nintendo game.
I'll do a playthrough of Gradius 5 with somebody.
Who is streaming next? Seriously. I can, unless Steve wants to or Nick wants to again.
We should do a stream the
I
week
wish we-
of July 4th
I can't do
if
that.
me none of the days that week.
I don't know, because that's sort of like a special time for me.
What's July 4th?
You blowing up a new doll?
Well, I'll be home Chicago.
Bob might be
For-
down that week. I don't know. We got to talk about my
Save,
schedule. Next.
save or kill, save or kill, save or kill.
I'm driving into Chicago on the 30th or the 1st.
You know what would be? Did you save them? You didn't save them. You better
No.
save them.
You want? No. You want me to save them?
Yeah,
No,
seriously, save
no.
them.
They're right
Yeah,
in
save
here.
them.
They're right
Well,
in here.
they've been waiting there for so long.
They've been right here.
Oh.
They're right here. Oh, the animals are right there. Oh, too bad.
My question is, who would have known to done that? Like back in the day when you were playing this game, who would have come down here and known to do this? Seriously.
I don't think I did it on the first time, but on the second time I was like, what's down there?
God damn it! I really wanted to watch you to do. I really wanted to watch you do that, Rene. I swear to God, I did.
Just a taunt. It's the third choice. It's taunt the animals.
Yeah.
Ah,
You
come
just
on.
made-
There we go.
You just sucked. You just made this suck. That was the shittiest run ever. Time was 42 hours.
So at the end, when it shows you your final time, it'll say too long.
Yeah.
Unlike your cock in subheading, like I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, I beat it in less than 3 hours real time. So,
It's not impressive.
and I died profusively.
You know what I'd like to do as far as these streams go? It's fun doing the one-on-one thing, but I wish we all could play a game together, like a Mario Kart or a Team Fortress 2 or something.
I would do Switch Mario Kart in a heartbeat.
I would do it too. But Nick and Steve and Rene, they don't have decent things in their lives. But we have computers.
Wait, what don't we have? A Switch? I have a Switch.
I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking more about the
156.
I'm talking more about the liberal movement, Nick. But what I'm really trying to say is that if we could all sort of in concert play a fun game together, I think that would be a lot of fun and have people like interact and jack us off or things like that.
156, man.
Under
That's awesome.
under 2 hours. That's what I've been saying. Under 2 hours.
Well, it's not that.
I sucked at this run, and I did it under 2 hours.
3 hours, right?
No, it's all. I always use game time because
Oh, okay.
it looks better.
All right, well, I'm gonna go right after the
Deer Force.
right after I get to see the ending because
Yeah, I want to see your nude. Do you get the nude ending with this one,
No, I didn't do it fast enough for that.
or do you have to have a certain completion percentage to get her nude?
I'm not. I probably have around 70 or 80. I only had 165 missiles, and I think there's 220 or 240 altogether.
Intelligence. It's interesting until the sort of development of this game, and they hired Intelligent Designs to come in and do all the engine programming, and this game had a really sort of turbulent development. A really interesting article in Retro Gamer from several years ago really sheds a lot of light on this.
It came out really late in the SNES's life. That's why I never played it when it came out originally, because there was, all the hype was around Donkey Kong Country and then the Sega 32X, and oh shit, the PS1's coming out next year, and
Drop everything, everybody. The 32X.
Right.
Hey, there was a lot of hype when it came out.
I played. Let's
The
see. I had,
Sega Neptune, everybody.
I think I'm going to try to fix Bob's CDX that he sent me. Do my best on that.
dude, if that has the problems that you think it has, that's now your CDX. I don't deserve getting that back if you put that many hours in it.
I mean, god damn, Bob, how many fucking people are murdered a night over there?
A lot. See, this is my first night in the new apartment. What I'm really wanting to know is I could deal with the sirens, when on my old apartment, the garbage truck would come a couple days a week, and the way the garbage truck would tell the people that they were there is they would roll up at 4 a.m. and just like 3 days a week. So that's what I'm dying to see. We're gonna get that. on
Dear
the side.
Force.
Oh, it's delayed,
Oh,
Rene.
oh. Oh yeah, I got it.
Good job.
I didn't think 156 would be fast enough for that.
She's so hot. I want to just.
Actually, Rene, don't you get this under 3 hours?
Is it 3 hours?
I think it is, but you have to have at least 50% completion too.
74.
Oh,
I-
Yeah.
I think that's the kicker. I mean, I don't know. Let's talk about that real quick. Who wants to stream next? So maybe we can give something for people to look forward to. Who, Steve, are you equipped to stream?
You stream next. You're the most equipped.
Okay.
You or Bob. Steve's not equipped to stream.
Yeah,
I
if,
thought
my new setup, unless I have a hard time, unless some part goes missing, I'll have my new setup done by the end of the week. So at anytime I'm playing a game, I could just press a button and be streaming. So
I don't understand. How did you girls stream the Mega Man X stuff on the Rectal Vision YouTube in Steve's basement? You had a
I
capture
mean, he
interface for
can
that, right?
stream. I'm just saying you're like, you've got a more ready to go setup. It seems like.
Not really.
My TV doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Loser. Put a moron.
All right. Well,
Okay.
before we go, I've got to remind everyone to smash that like button.
Yeah.
And hit the bell.
After this, is there a big dislike button?
Well, we consistently had over 100 people. I was surprised that people stayed on.
They walked away from their computer.
They're just humoring us.
Yeah, they fell asleep. All right, everyone. We'll see you in, I don't know, a couple weeks or something. And we got to work around Zach's apparent precious weeks that he can't do anything. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. I have about 30 that week. I've got like 30,000 SNES boards here. I've been doing some interesting things with, so I won't be busy. I'll be too busy on the 4th. In fairness, maybe I don't know.
I'm not saying on the 4th.
The week of the 4th. I think maybe that. I don't know. Bob wants to come down here and do stupid shit. It might be on that week. I don't know.
Well, we'll
I don't
figure
know.
it out. Who knows? Doesn't matter. We don't have to settle it now.
Pray to
Anyway.
God, it's not.
All right, Renee, play us out with that
Yeah,
sexy end screen, and we'll see everybody next time.
Yeah, Nick.
Later, guys. Thanks for coming.
Had a great one. Everyone have a good time. Suck my balls.
Yep. All right. See you guys.
But